Chapter 873. They play chess. When Yunshi stepped into the entrance of the Sky Tower, he saw the rotating compass on the altar again. Casina, the battle god's favorite place, is the battle god's championship contest. It is said that she has never suffered defeat here, and several of Yunshi's elder martial sisters often train their skills here. Let's not come here today. Perhaps there will be an opportunity to come in the future. It is said that the doll city is where the puppet makers gather. Yunshi was slightly curious. After all, he was a semi-professional puppet maker, but unfortunately his only work was taken away by the Queen of Assyria. He didn't know how White Moon was doing now, but it should be as if she were a princess and being taken care of by the Queen of Assyria. Heavenly Book World. This place gathered many inherited books of the heavens, and Casina, the battle god, said that the rules of the trials here are very complicated. Even though you're militarily invincible, when it comes to the rules of poetry and drawing, you have to leave empty-handed. It seems like Casina, the battle god, doesn't adjust well to this world too, but Yunshi is somewhat interested. After the compass rotated 3 times, Yunshi finally saw the familiar trial world. The Starry Sky chessboard was originally randomly accessible, often appearing only once every 1,000 years as a special trial and praised as the stage of the highest wisdom in the endless god's domains. Now it is accessible at any time and acts as one of the highest trials, with the 7 towers constantly present. Just to get into a game of Go, one has to go through qualification tests, so it's roughly divided into 2 areas. 0 solved. Only those with a ranking can enter the star zone, where every win and loss contributes to one's rank score. Legend ranked existences and wise men fight on this stage, striving for higher rankings and honing their skills. Another one is the Stardust Zone, where there are no rank restrictions and even beginners who just understand the rules can play. The outcome of the games played in this zone doesn't count towards rank points, so it is a place where one can play freely. Dividing these 2 areas is the self-evolution of the Starry Sky chessboard, and the emergence of the Stardust Zone also gives those newly learned players the opportunity to show off their skills. Most of the time, the skills of the players in the Stardust Zone are eye-watering. After all, Star Go players of certain rank generally play in the Star Zone where they can earn rank points, so it's meaningless for them to play against novice players in the Stardust Zone. 0 solved. Compared to the orderly Star Zone, chess players in the Stardust Zone are willing to play any kind of chess, and even some seemingly impossible chess combinations can appear. Ambitious chess players will gradually become familiar with the rules of the Starry Sky chessboard and eventually enter the Star Zone. Of course, there are also pure hobbyists who probably have no chance of entering the Star Zone their entire life, but still enjoy playing chess. The people who are the happiest about the opening of the Starry Sky chessboard are these people. When Yunshi saw these 2 zones for the first time, he curiously entered spectator mode. In the Star Zone, the most watched chess games are those between Cyber Elf Alpha and Gem Princess, both of which are names Yunshi is very familiar with. But upon entering, Yunshi found that Gem Princess was completely routed and was about to be defeated by Cyber Elf Alpha. As expected, Cyber Elf Alpha is still unbeatable. This time, the Ruby Dragon Orphina lost to Cyber Elf Alpha for the 50th time. I feel like Cyber Elf Alpha's calculation capabilities have been supercharged. It's totally brute force crushing. In fact, the chess strength of the Ruby Dragon Orphina has also increased, but Cyber Elf Alpha has increased more. Excluding the previous defeat, Cyber Elf Alpha has achieved a streak of 700 wins again. Oh my, it looks like Mechanist God's domain is about to take off. A group of legendary ranked star chess players watched in awe and involuntarily gasped in amazement. No matter how many times you watch Cyber Elf Alpha's offense, it gives people a feeling of infinite suppression and breathlessness. Even if you calculated with the legend-ranked calculation power, it is hopeless against Cyber Elf Alpha. Except for the Master of Star Go, none of the players in the Star Zone can defeat Cyber Elf Alpha. 0 solved. She has definitely gotten even stronger. Yunxi looked at the chess moves of Cyber Elf Alpha and make a judgment on her chess strength. Approximately, increased attack power by 10%. However, Star Go is not simply a numerical game, it is not something that can be won simply by stacking computing power. This time, the Ruby Dragon or Fina Princess also lost extremely badly, but Yunxi felt some unusual taste from her chess. She, who always used brute force to defeat the other party, has started to learn to strategies. In Starry Sky chess, theoretically, there are countless different solutions for each move because the Starry Sky chessboard is a constantly changing world and every step can cause different results. The strategy of Cyber Elf Alpha was to find the best solution in each step and gradually force the opponent into a dead end, leaving no chance for the opponent. However, each step may be the optimal solution, but it doesn't necessarily represent victory in the game. Because of the infinite variations of the Starry Sky chessboard, perhaps the first 10 moves are optimal solutions, but the 11th move can cause drastic changes. This is the charm of the Starry Sky chessboard, full of infinite unknown wisdom. The tiny Starry Sky chessboard reflects an endless starry sky and the majestic view of the universe. Cyber Elf Alpha is an exceptionally powerful faction in the Starry Sky chessboard, with absolute crushing power compared to others, but she is not invincible. At least, the Ruby Dragon or Fina had already started to get used to being crushed down by Alpha's calculation power, and even started to catch a flicker of light under absolute disadvantage. In Yunxi's eyes, there is still hope in this game. If she could see the star maps changes 7 steps ahead and catch a glimmer of opportunity, perhaps there is still a chance to turn the tables. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Under Yunxi's gaze, the Ruby Dragon or Fina finally took the 7th step, which could change the entire game. It was obvious that she was aware of it, but just a moment's miscalculation meant that she couldn't make the move at the right time, in the right place. Perhaps she did catch a glimmer of inspiration, but sadly she was unable to turn that inspiration into her own true potential. After this step, it seemed that the Ruby Dragon or Fina had realized something as well. The chess piece which was supposed to fall remained suspended for a long time. I admit defeat. 0 solved. Finally, the Ruby Dragon or Fina surrendered, ending this torturous game. Chapter 874, Evolutionary Alpha. Alpha, you're getting stronger. The Ruby Dragon or Fina looked at her opponent with a complicated gaze. 0 solved today. As always, she also occupies the first place in the Star Zone and challenges all the high-level Starry Sky Go players in the Star Zone. 0 solved. Since the Starry Sky chessboard became a regular test of the 7 towers, she has never missed a day of the Starry Sky chessboard battles. No one could stop her from conquering territories and no one could match her in the endgame. Cyber Elf Alpha has become recognized by all the Gods Domain star players as the second person in the endless Gods Domains and has left Norn the God of Wisdom behind by more than 1 level. If not for the mysterious Starry Sky chess master, Cyber Elf Alpha has completed the mission of dominating the Starry Sky chessboard. The record of Cyber Elf Alpha's defeat all comes from her playing against a cloud in the sky. Apart from that, she has never been defeated. Because the unidentified Starry Sky chess master, a cloud in the sky, rarely appears in the Starry Sky chessboard to play chess, Cyber Elf Alpha is actually the strongest king of Star Zone. Her game record is a mystery that all the grandmasters of the Endless Gods Domains must study. In particular, the 3 games with Starry Sky Chess Master, A Cloud in the Sky, were written in the history of Starry Sky Chess. As long as it is a chess player in Star Zone, there is no one who has not been defeated by Cyber Elf Alpha. Among them, the 3 sisters of Norn the God of Wisdom, and the Ruby Dragon or Fina are closest to Cyber Elf Alpha in strength and particularly like to play chess. This game has been the 50th consecutive defeat of the Ruby Dragon or Fina against Cyber Elf Alpha. If an ordinary person played this game, he would probably quit soon. However, during the last round, Orfina could sense that something was different from the past. Cyber Elf Alpha's absolute skill still looks invincible. So, what was it she just saw in a flash? The ruby dragon Orphina stared at the star map. The star map used by the Starry Sky chessboard in each game is different, and the tactics are naturally different. This is one of the greatest charms of Starry Sky chess. Her intuition can't be wrong. There is a way to defeat Cyber Elf Alpha in the game just ended. She just missed that opportunity and the chance to succeed at the first time. For the Ruby Dragon Orphina, who is also good at attacking, playing chess with Cyber Elf Alpha is the most worrying, because her best attacking skill is never used. Out of 50 consecutive losses, she seemed to barely glimpse a glimmer of hope in this one. You have also gotten stronger too. Star chess really is the most interesting game. Cyber Elf Alpha had noticed that at one point in the game, her win rate had suddenly dropped below 50%. It was a very sudden piece of data, enough to make Cyber Elf Alpha wonder if her powerful quantum computer had made a mistake. After playback and calculation, Cyber Elf Alpha finally found out at what time the unstable winning rate appeared. It is amazing, she completely overpowered her opponent throughout the entire game, but due to the infinite possibilities of starry chess, her opponent did manage to find a way to turn the tide in the very last move. Of course, even if she played that hand, it didn't necessarily mean she would really win against Cyber Elf Alpha. When in a predicament, Cyber Elf Alpha still has the trump card of extreme overclocking, which allows her to increase her computational power to multiple times that of the legend rank, just like when she initially faced the invincible Starry Sky chess master. However, if she is pushed to that point, it meant that Cyber Elf Alpha must expend a vast amount of resources to play the game. So far, only Starry Sky chess master, a cloud in the sky, has forced Cyber Elf Alpha into that desperate situation and defeated her with a huge advantage. He is always the first imaginary enemy in the ranking of Alpha's opponents. In order to defeat him, she even launched the revolution of Mechanical God's domain and dominated the construction plan of the new planetary quantum computer group. All this, just to play a game of chess. Humans thought Cyber Elf Alpha betrayed them when in fact it was all a mere case of paranoia. Cyber Elf Alpha doesn't care about human affairs at all, as long as it doesn't interfere with her playing chess. Recently, the human forces of Mechanist God's domain seem to have finally understood this, and the rebellious armies have also quieted down and turned to underground activities. In order to avoid being controlled by the planet quantum computers, they even went back to the ancient era of firecrackers and machines, building underground bases in the barren wilderness. It's all self-deception in the end. Under the Sky system created by the quantum computer group, even an ant moving on the ground can be marked in the calculation area of the quantum computer group. They thought their underground bases were safe, but they were actually refuges prepared especially for them by the quantum computers. In addition to this small group of people, the vast majority of human beings in the Mechanical God's domain began to accept the new order under the control of Cyber Elf Alpha. With the help of the quantum computer groups who have obtained self-will, the civilization level of Mechanist God's domain even took a step further. As the new electronic spirit, Cyber Elf Alpha quickly gained the recognition of the gods of the Western God's domain, becoming a rising star. Cyber Elf Alpha's battles on the Starry Sky chessboard have also made the exchanges between Mechanist God's domain and other gods' domains much better. As for those guys who have now regressed to hunting with firecrackers, they will basically be swept into the old history, becoming a rare species in the Mechanist God's domain. Chapter 875, Starry Sky Chess's charm. 99% of the population of the Mechanical God's domain has recognized the dominance of Cyber Elf Alpha over the Mechanical God's domain and has begun to get used to a new order. Now, people are willing to build a new planetary quantum computer group, because every time one is built, the civilization level of Mechanical God's domain will increase by a few points. The painting style of the entire Mechanical God's domain also began to develop towards the coexistence of gods and machines. Once, due to the extremely exclusionary trend of the Mechanical God's domain, once gods enter it, they will feel uncomfortable instinctively, resulting in the exclusion of the mechanical gods domain by almost the entire Western gods domain, and all aspects of communication have stopped. The birth of Cyber Elf Alpha completely changed the foolish decision of locking the gods domain and closing the door to other gods domains. Since the mechanical gods domain has a new electronic god, other gods domains have begun to actively contact this remote gods domain, and more alchemists and elves have also begun to come Alpha Star. The current Alpha Star has replaced the original position of the capital star of mechanical gods domain and becomes the core of mechanical gods domain. The mechanical gods domain no longer completely rejects the existence of the power of fantasy as in the past. Some fantasy species wandering in the starry sky have also begun to cast nests in the mechanical gods domain. The new era of the mechanical gods domain, or Cyber Elf Alpha, has arrived. In the face of this general trend, the conservatives in the mechanical gods domain are still struggling, but anyone can see that it is only a matter of time before their voices disappear. The newly born mechanical gods domain doesn't need those old forces who are still stuck in their old ways. Even the existence of Cyber Elf Alpha doesn't want to admit it, and remain in the past. Their insistence is meaningless. As recorded in the ancient history of Mechanus Gold's domain, the world has entered the era of steel, aircraft, and artillery. The feudal forces of cold weapons and cavalry fighting are really ridiculous. Even their existence is the result of the calculation of Cyber Elf Alpha. Because the variables they can generate are insignificant under the general situation in the mechanical gods domain. Let's just treat them as a picture of the old times there. Anyway, even those nuclear bombs they regard as the last cards can only blow themselves up and cause no damage to Alpha. The planetary quantum computer team that built the Judgment of Heaven system can make those ancient nuclear bombs disappear from the world within 10 seconds. Starting from abandoning the power of the planetary quantum computer group and retreating to the wilderness and underground bases, these aristocrats of the old era are actually divorced from the era, but they stubbornly believe that there is a chance to rise again. This is really a huge illusion. How can they compete with the quantum computer group without resources and intelligence? Cyber Elf Alpha has long ignored them. The variables that can be triggered by a game of chess played by her on the starry sky chessboard are thousands of times greater than those of the humans. The influence of Cyber Elf Alpha on the starry sky chessboard in the endless gods domains, which represents the mechanical gods domain, is beyond the reach of human beings in the old era. Their vision is still limited to the Star River aristocrats who ruled the human era, and they can't understand the overall situation of Cyber Elf Alpha at all. For Cyber Elf Alpha, everything is the result of computing power. Having more computing power is the evolution path of Cyber Elf Alpha. The starry sky chessboard is the battlefield belonging to Cyber Elf Alpha and her chosen road. Here, there are countless opponents. Every game of starry sky chess can make Cyber Elf Alpha feel happy and her heart beat faster. Does it feel good to crush your opponent? That's certainly the best thing. For Cyber Elf Alpha, the infinite variety of variables of the starry sky chessboard and the games with gods and legend-ranked beings is the best way of cultivation. With continuous success, the experience and data gained by Cyber Elf Alpha are also increasing. There is nothing more wonderful than this. With every win, Cyber Elf Alpha will gain. Starry Sky Chess, the stage representing the highest wisdom of the endless gods domains, is her battlefield. Not only her, but anyone who really discovers the mystery of infinite rules contained in Starry Sky Chess will be immersed in it. Regardless of race or origin, you can experience the pleasure of being in charge of the stars as long as you play on this chessboard. The more you play Starry Sky Chess, the more you can feel the magic of the Starry Sky chessboard. It is a magic tool that can show the star map and evolve the changes of billions of stars. In just 1 month, the number of legend-rank strong people who joined Starry Sky Chess has increased tenfold, and the number of hero-ranked is even more numerous than that. There is no doubt that this trend is still growing. The Starry Sky chessboard, which was only opened once 1,000 years, has finally shown its charm to the endless gods' domains, and has become an irresistible temptation for even gods. Pick up the chess pieces representing the stars, lay out and kill on the endless star map. This is a miracle that even gods can't do. It belongs to the miracle of the starry sky chessboard. You can't understand the mystery of the chess manual alone. Only when you really sit in front of the starry sky chessboard and pick up your own pieces to play chess can you experience the feeling that you are the master of the stars. The starry sky chessboard has such incredible power. Even gods are immersed in it, let alone hero-ranked creatures. In order to pass the rank recognition, even many legend-ranked beings have humbly asked the gifted hero-ranked starry sky chess players for advice. Now, as long as there are starry sky chess players, they are all hot cakes, and they will even be scrambled for. If it weren't for most of the starry sky chess players being at the legend rank, they would have been robbed by those legend-ranked players who haven't passed the grade examination to teach them chess. Chapter 876, Admission, They Have Become Stronger. As the best player of starry sky chess, Yunxi is very happy to see so many people start to play starry sky chess. At first, he thought that the endless gods' domains would play starry sky chess with only 47 players. Unexpectedly, after the official opening of the starry sky chessboard, it would attract many legend-ranked existences to play as well. At the moment, there are more than 100 chess players gathered in the star zone, and more chess players are blocked out of the star zone by the horrible entering test. So, who does he want to play Go with? Yunxi's eyes are first placed on Cyber Elf Alpha, who is the focus of the star zone at all times. Zero solved. If it hadn't been for that sudden trip to the mechanical god's domain, Yunxi would not have known how high Cyber Elf Alpha was in that domain. Her charm lies in her infinitely increased computational power, step-by-step approach, and the best approach for every step. After hesitating for a while, Yunxi finally didn't choose Cyber Elf Alpha. He was the kind of person who likes to save the best for last. So, should he choose the Ruby Dragon or Fina? She is a good friend of the Master Cassina the Battle God, who is one of the senior chess players next to Cyber Elf Alpha. In addition to her, he could also choose the God of Wisdom. In the end, Yunxi didn't choose anyone, but went to another area curiously. Stardust Zone is a gathering area for new people who are familiar with and learning the method of starry sky chess, symbolizing the beginning of the new era of the starry sky chessboard. It is because of this zone that the masters of the endless gods' domains have the chance to contact starry sky chess. Not everyone has the talent to capture the star track. Just completing the entering test accurately is exhausting for many gods. Now, they finally have the opportunity to immerse themselves in the star map of the starry sky chessboard, and find their own starry sky chess method. Some people are born close to the free and unrestrained wind, their way of playing chess is natural and unrestrained. They will try any chess way. Some people advocate the calculation and deduction flow like Cyber Elf Alpha, and require themselves to do their best at every step, without mistakes, and beat their opponent steadily. There are also people who love to seize cities and territories, and will not stop until they eat the other party's chess pieces, and even don't hesitate to use them the same way to achieve local victory. This is the charm of starry sky chess. No matter what kind of play is supported and can be used. With the infinitely variable star map, the players in charge of starry sky chess can freely display their wisdom and courage. Here, there is no difference in race or origin. Whether you are a high god or a humble lizard who lives in the swamp, you can meet and battle on the same chessboard. The protection of the starry sky chessboard allows the hero rank to compete with the legend ranked, and even a hero-ranked chess player with special talents can defeat those legend-ranked newcomers at ease. Although this kind of thing is a rare incident, it is enough to excite countless hero-ranked masters just by playing chess with the legend-ranked players in the same position. Show your chess ability, and then get the approval of the legend rank, and even take the initiative to become the subordinate of the other side. The Starry Sky chessboard has become a huge stage that connected the whole endless gods' domains. Now, even the most remote god's domain knows the fame of the Starry Sky chessboard, and is flocking to it. Yunxi, who came to Stardust Zone, saw light spots that were scattered everywhere. Each light spot represented an ongoing match. The Starry Sky chess players who are qualified to play chess in the Star Zone have just broken through the 3 figures, and the number of players in the Stardust Zone is thousands. In addition to the chess games being played, there are many light spots around these chess games, which are the people who are watching. They may not have the chess skills of the players in the Star Zone, and many of them are still novices brought by their teachers to learn the rules of Starry Sky chess, but Yunxi can feel the surging enthusiasm. That was a wonderful move. He is worthy of being the wise man of our night god's domain, for he has won 30 consecutive victories. In this way, it is only a matter of time to pass the entering test. It would be great to enter that circle. That's the legendary area of the Starry Sky chessboard, the battlefield of the gods. Most of the people watching the games are supporting a certain chess player. For these people from small gods' domains, it is a daydream to have a relationship with a legend-ranked existence. Most of those small gods' domains don't have any god. Under normal conditions, the probability of the birth of the legend rank in these small gods' domains is practically 0. But now there is an opportunity. The Starry Sky chessboard doesn't refuse any hero-ranked players. This is the only chance for the hero-ranked from the remote gods' domains to get close to the legend-ranked and even communicate face-to-face. Of course, this requires you to have real chess skills, at least to be able to enter the upper region in this Stardust Zone, close to the level of the entering test. Otherwise, the gods will not look at you. Even the weakest legend rank has hundreds of times more computing power than a hero rank. Unless some hero rank has a special talent, it is also a delusion to defeat the legend rank in Starry Sky chess. Even so, this was the only way that these hero-ranked people in remote gods' domains can find. Under normal conditions, they have no chance to get close to these gods. The Starry Sky chessboard brings such an opportunity to the endless gods' domains. It is in such a thriving environment that the founder of this era, the only chess player recognized by the Starry Sky chessboard, appeared. Well, he also changed his name with the privilege of his own Starry Sky chess master identity, and quietly ran to the Stardust Zone to play chess with the newcomers who had just contacted Starry Sky chessboard. I'm also a newcomer, the current Starry Sky chess master said to himself. Chapter 877, Immortal in the Pot, Little Cloud, is the modified name given by Yunxi to himself, and it is also the name used when he first logged on to the Starry Sky chessboard Stardust area. It is a brand new account. This anonymous privilege is actually available to all Star Zone players, but Yunxi's authority is the highest, which is equivalent to creating an imaginary login number to enter the Stardust Zone. As for why he does this, Yunxi thinks that he is actually a newcomer to Starry Sky chess. Compared to the long history of the Starry Sky chessboard, he who has only recently officially joined the Starry Sky chess still has much to learn. He wants to know the history of Starry Sky chess in the endless gods' domains. Why has everyone suddenly become so fond of Starry Sky chess? Besides Cyber Elf Alpha, the god of wisdom, and Ruby Princess, who are the other high-level Starry Sky chess players? Zero solved. Yunxi was overwhelmed by too many questions. To learn everything about Starry Sky chess, it's best to start from the most basic Stardust Zone. If Yunxi were to play chess in the Stardust Zone using the identity of the Starry Sky chess master, it would cause a big problem, so he simply created this new account, Little Cloud. Looking at the white light surrounding him and the little cloud, codename on top of his head, Yunxi was very satisfied with the protection the Starry Sky chessboard offered to its players. As long as you don't expose your identity, no one knows who you are in the Starry Sky chessboard. This is also the Starry Sky chessboard's protection for chess players, giving courage to hero-ranked chess players to face legend-ranked chess players. Of course, there are also chess players who don't mind at all their names being made public, such as Cyber Elf Alpha, Norn the God of Wisdom, and the identity of the Ruby Dragon or Fina, which are basically completely open. Most high-level chess players are like this. As legend-ranked chess players, they don't care if people know their identity and have no need to hide it. Just like the Black Mage and Roman Emperor, their aliases are even easier to remember than their real names. Under the codename Little Cloud, Yunxi curiously wandered around the Stardust Zone, seeing one after another incredible chessboard with numerous flaws but occasionally with flashes of brilliance. Yunxi was dumbfounded looking at someone killing his own pieces while playing this. How can it be played like this? It was totally against the trajectory of star movements. Another game started and both sides were playing with great difficulty. One side had obtained the absolute upper hand, but none of both sides had found it. They kept on playing with total energy. Perhaps these chess players are somewhat weak in strength, but Yunxi can see from them an inner love for Starry Sky chess, even immersing themselves in it. If you were to put it in terms of imagery, it's like being addicted to chess and getting more and more immersed in it until you can't break free. On all kinds of star maps, what remains are their sweat and tears. At times enraged, at times devastated, at times roaring with laughter, Yunxi saw more than just a game of chess, but all sorts of life. The world of the Starry Sky chessboard is pure and enchanting. There are despised demons, symbolic angels, indomitable dragons, and lofty deities inside. On the Starry Sky chessboard, they are all equal, with each wielding Starry Sky chess pieces, playing in an ever-changing starry world. There is no other place that can gather so many strong warriors of different backgrounds and races to fight in such a peaceful yet special way. Compared to Star Zone, which symbolizes the highest wisdom of the endless gods' domains, the Stardust Zone is more enjoyable, where stories of immense joy are happening every moment. Oh no! Did I make a mistake? How did this happen? Oh no! Undo, undo, I want to undo, wah wah wah. I'm completely defeated, I was wrong. No, don't kill me. I'm going to be eaten. I'm going to be eaten. Just as Yunxi was looking east and west, someone stealthily walked up behind him. This is a chess player whose name is known throughout the Stardust Zone. Behind him was a huge gourd, with a big red nose, small eyes, and a white beard. He looked like a master. In fact, he was indeed a peerless master. His name is Immortal in the Pot, a cultivator at the Golden Core stage. It is said that there is a world hidden in the gourd behind him, which can instantly release the power of the Milky Way to suppress a domain. Just this particular Earth Immortal had an annoying habit, bullying newcomers in the Starry Sky chessboard. He liked to play with rookies. To call it guidance would be incorrect, it is more like a one-sided beating. In Stardust Zone, his strength is able to be ranked at the highest level. Although he has not entered the Star Zone, he is considered one of the most promising legend-ranked players for entering it. After the Starry Sky chessboard was divided into Stardust Zone and Star Zone, he immersed himself in the Stardust Zone all day long and took pleasure in guiding many newcomers. Basically, once he takes a liking to a newcomer, the newcomer would be thoroughly instructed by him. This has become an open secret in Stardust Zone. Today, the Immortal in the Pot saw a newcomer who looked very naive. First, when the newcomer came in, he didn't play a game of chess, but instead observed other players, with a curious look on his face. Second, his nickname gave him away. Ever since the Starry Sky chess master appeared, 8 out of 10 of the newly joined chess players love to choose a nickname related to Cloud. Alibaba Cloud, Thousand Clouds, Question Cloud, 360-degree Cloud, Fast Wind Cloud, these are all the newcomers who were guided by the Immortal in the Pot. Today, the immortal in the pot felt that there was a newcomer who needed to be guided by himself. How should he educate this new chess player? Crushing him on the chessboard, crushing him on the chessboard, or crushing him on the chessboard? In short, let the newbie know how weak he is. If you want to succeed and reach for the star zone, it's a journey you must take, child. 0. Chapter 878. Please enter the urn. Hey kid, wanna play a game of chess? After watching Yun-Shi for a while, Immortal in the pot finally patted Yun-Shi's shoulder generously. Elder, do you want to play chess with me? Yun-Shi curiously looked at the Immortal who had appeared in front of him in human form. He could feel that this was an extraordinary player, and from the big gourd he carried on his back, Yun-Shi could sense a deep and unfathomable aura, like his master, the battle god Casina. That's right, I'm Immortal in the pot, a cultivator at the Golden Core stage, one of the supreme elders of the Heaven's Path Palace. Are you the new one from the Sky Tower? Immortal in the pot squinted his eyes. As one of the few organizations in the East God's domain, the Heaven's Path Palace is a gathering place for countless Taoist practitioners. For the young people of White Lotus Sword Domain and other sword domains, if they don't pass the entrance exam of the Sword Palace, their second choice is the Heaven's Path Palace. Once the talent of cultivation is tested, it is also another way to reach the legend rank. The son of the mayor who died in Yun-Shi's hands, a Shen, was a disciple of Heaven's Path Palace. Yun-Shi looked with amazement at the kind-faced Immortal in the pot. This was a living legend. He never expected to see a Golden Core Immortal in front of his eyes. 0 solved in the East God's domain. The Golden Core Immortals are also known as the Earth Immortals, symbolizing the highest level of Taoism. Throughout the East God's domain, such Golden Core Immortals are even fewer than Sky Swords. He never expected an actual Golden Core Immortal here, and it turns out to be the Supreme Elder of Heaven's Path Palace. 0 solved. Starry Sky Chess is the truth of the universe. That you and I could come here to the Starry Sky Chess means we were fated to do so. Immortal in the pot casually bragged, looking at Yun-Shi with an extremely friendly gaze. Teaching the newcomer the cruelty of the Starry Sky chessboard is just doing a good deed without any fault. Yun-Shi embarrassedly scratched her head, saying, a high monk once said that I have karmic ties with the Buddha. It seems that he really has a fate with Starry Sky chess. As for whether it is also related to Buddhism, it still needs to be verified. Come on, watching 100 games is not as good as trying it once. Play a game with me and you will naturally understand the magnificence of Starry Sky chess. Immortal in the pot smiled. Okay, Elder, can you tell me about some of the history of Starry Sky chess? Yun-Shi looked at Immortal in the pot with anticipation. This is a pure newbie. Haha. Of course, I will tell you the full meaning of Starry Sky chess. Immortal in the pot smiled as he and Yun-Shi arrived at the blank chessboard. An endless star map unfolds, all surrounding sounds naturally screened off. Though the scenery of stars densely packed not far away can still be seen, at this moment only Yun-Shi and Immortal in the pot are facing each other on the chessboard. Although it is the Stardust Zone, the rules here are the same as in the Star Zone. Who plays first is chosen randomly. Once the chess game starts, it can only end when one side surrenders. The gold hourglasses represented the thinking time for both sides. If the sand of one hourglass runs out, there is no more long thinking time and only seconds left. Yun-Shi was the first to play. He bet the first move on the Tianyuan position as usual. With a paw, Immortal in the pot squinted and looked at Yun-Shi with a smile. Newcomer. A novice among novices. Newcomers like to learn from the invincible Starry Sky chess master and put their first move on Tianyuan. Could you and the Starry Sky chess master be at the same level? The Starry Sky chess master's Tianyuan opening is a highly skilled move, and can't be imitated by newbies. This is the consensus conclusion arrived at by all masters of Starry Sky Chess after researching all the games of the Starry Sky Chess Master. In the Endless Gods domains, there are only 1.5 people who can bring out the advantage of the Tianyuan opening move. In addition to the undefeated Starry Sky Chess Master, only Cyber Elf Alpha is qualified to use this move. Beginners using the Tianyu opening move is no different from courting disaster. However, it is precise because of this that we need such predecessors to guide us in chess, right? Since the new player is so insistent on this Tianyuan opening, he should be told why this opening is wrong. Carrying a mysterious smile, Immortal in the Pot responded to Yunqi's move and put his piece in the corner. This is a move that has been proven countless times throughout the history of Starry Sky Chess. Elder, do you know when Starry Sky Chess started? Yunqi looked at the star map and was already familiar with the general changes ahead. After all, this was his best game. Immortal in the Pot looked into the air with a nostalgic look in his eyes. You've asked the right person this time. According to my knowledge, the trial of the Starry Sky chessboard has already existed since the era when the 7 towers were just established. In other words, this is one of the oldest trials of the 7 towers. Previously, this trial was very rare to come by, and it was the toughest trial with the highest requirements for the testers. You probably don't know, but every time the Starry Sky chessboard's trial appears, even legend-ranked strong people would rush to participate. This Starry Sky chess is so amazingly clever. Paw! Both of them played quickly, with Yunqi following the natural course of events and Immortal in the Pot happily looking on as Yunqi fell into his trap step by step. This strategy is called to lure with kindness and capture without effort. For newcomers, this trick is infallible. The newbies who have been trained by him in his skillful way are increasing. Unfortunately, after playing a game with him, newcomers usually already know the difference in skill level, and it would be difficult to defeat them so easily again. So, how many moves does it take to take down this tender newbie? 10, 20, or even more. Now the Starry Sky chessboard is open, we really have to thank that Starry Sky chess master. If it wasn't for him, we would never have such a chance. Immortal in the Pot stroked his beard, watching the more and more smooth chess game in high spirits. Chapter 879, The Great Reversal. It's time to harvest. Seeing the increasingly obvious chess situation, Immortal in the Pot was elated. This Immortal has no other hobbies in his life, only wine and chess. He can't give up. It can be said that he is obsessed. As a Golden Core Immortal, the wine he hasn't drunk in the Endless Gods domains basically doesn't exist. The Heaven's Path Palace will also try to collect all kinds of wine for him and let him enjoy it. The problem is chess. Take Go, which is popular in the East Gods domain, as an example. His strength is already at the peak of the peak. Go can no longer satisfy the addiction of Immortal in the Pot. Finally, he became addicted to Starry Sky chess. However, the time of the Starry Sky chessboard's trial is random, sometimes not even once in 1,000 years. In Yunqi's eyes, Starry Sky chess is simple and easy to understand, and he can easily pass the entrance test, but Immortal in the Pot could hardly pass it. Before the official opening of the Starry Sky chessboard, the chess players who could play chess here were recognized as the top wise men by the Endless Gods domains. The present Stardust Zone is a paradise for Immortal in the Pot. He spares no effort to guide the new players, just to let them know the breadth and depth of Starry Sky chess. It's a pleasure to preach, teach and dispel doubts. You are really catching up with all the good times. In the past, if we wanted to play the Starry Sky chess, we have to wait for thousands of years. Immortal in the Pot recalled the tension and heartbeat that he was expecting the arrival of the Starry Sky chessboard. The new players in this era, in contrast, as long as they had approval from their own towers, they could come here to play chess. As a senior, naturally, he should give his juniors a friendly lesson. Is there no other place to play Starry Sky chess except here? Yunxi looked at the chess game and felt that there was not much time left. No, even I can't understand the power of the evolutionary star map, which is beyond the control of gods. I don't know how powerful it is to create the Starry Sky chessboard, and how powerful it is to record the stars in the endless sky. Watching Yunxi enter his trap step by step, the mouth of Immortal in the pot showed a wonderful arc. The green and astringent fruit will finally be eaten. Taste the taste of failure, and then come out of it. This is something that young people must learn. Who didn't break his head and bleed on their first try? He wanted to tell the newcomers of Starry Sky chess by example that the world is not as simple as they think. Paw. Immortal in the pot played confidently. If the outcome is determined, there is no need to pretend. Little guy, do you still want to play? Looking at the chess game that had forced Yunxi into a desperate situation, Immortal in the pot touched his beard, and his face was elated. Of course. Yunxi looked at Immortal in the pot, who had the expression of, I have won, in confusion. Can't he see that the winner of this chess game has been decided 10 moves before? Paw. Yunxi placed his chess piece in the center of Immortal in the pot's chess pieces. Schwa. 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 Immortal in the pot looked at the chess piece that fell into his array. First he was puzzled, then his eyes were wide open, and finally he shouted, Impossible, how did I miss such a trick? This, the hell? How can you do this? It's not normal. On the star map, Immortal in the pot's chess pieces instantly became fragmented after Yunxi's chess piece was placed in their center. This move was like a deadly scalpel, directly inserted into the heart of Immortal in the pot, making him miserable. Careless, really careless. Immortal in the pot kept patting his thigh, regretful. Why didn't he see it? It's just a mistake that newcomers make. If you go wrong, you will lose. Now, almost all the advantages he built up in the early game were spent, and the situation looked very bad. Wait a minute, let me think. Wiping the sweat on his forehead, Immortal in the pot began his first long thinking of this round. The golden gravel kept falling, and the face of Immortal in the pot who stared at the chessboard became more and more gloomy. What happened? So far, Immortal in the pot has not figured out why he was careless enough to ignore such a loophole in his victory. It is clear that the opponent is just a newcomer. He was only one step away from winning. This feeling is as if a piece of fish on a chopping board suddenly jumped up and turned into a man-eating great white shark in the air. Wait, it seems that it's not just here. The more he looks at it, the more loopholes Immortal in the pot finds. What the hell? When did he make so many mistakes? After so many games of Starry Sky chess and defeating thousands of newcomers, Immortal in the pot never encountered such a strange thing before. Not only he, but also other chess players who watched the game showed incredible expressions. Will this newcomer win? It was clear that Immortal in the pot had a big advantage just now. Why does it look like he is about to lose? Ha ha ha, Immortal in the pot was too careless. This newcomer named Little Cloud, it seems to have the talent of playing Starry Sky chess. During the debate, Immortal in the pot took a long breath and fully demonstrated his strong spiritual will. He firmly believes that this is just a coincidence. Due to the infinitely changing characteristics of Starry Sky chess, such coincidences would occasionally happen. The probability is that the rabbit will kill itself and present itself to the hunter. He can fight back. There is still a chance to turn the table. He can win. Don't feel fear, just go. Victory belongs to those who persist till the end. After a quarter of an hour, Immortal in the pot stared at the chessboard and was completely speechless. There is a strange silence, even with depression and fear. At this moment, his face looked like a withered bitter gourd. Chapter 877, Immortal in the Pot, Little Cloud, is the modified name given by Yunshi to himself, and it is also the name used when he first logged on to the Starry Sky Chessboard Stardust area. It is a brand new account. This anonymous privilege is actually available to all Star Zone players, but Yunshi's authority is the highest, which is equivalent to creating an imaginary login number to enter the Stardust Zone. As for why he does this, Yunshi thinks that he is actually a newcomer to Starry Sky Chess. Compared to the long history of the Starry Sky Chessboard, he who has only recently officially joined the Starry Sky Chess still has much to learn. He wants to know the history of Starry Sky Chess in the endless gods' domains. Why has everyone suddenly become so fond of Starry Sky Chess? Besides Cyber Elf Alpha, the god of wisdom, and Ruby Princess, who are the other high-level Starry Sky Chess players? Yunshi was overwhelmed by too many questions. To learn everything about Starry Sky Chess, it's best to start from the most basic Stardust Zone. If Yunshi were to play chess in the Stardust Zone using the identity of the Starry Sky Chess Master, it would cause a big problem, so he simply created this new account, Little Cloud. Looking at the white light surrounding him and the Little Cloud codename on top of his head, Yunshi was very satisfied with the protection the Starry Sky Chessboard offered to its players. As long as you don't expose your identity, no one knows who you are in the Starry Sky Chessboard. This is also the Starry Sky Chessboard's protection for chess players, giving courage to hero-ranked chess players to face legend-ranked chess players. Of course, there are also chess players who don't mind at all their names being made public, such as Cyber Elf Alpha, Norn the God of Wisdom, and the identity of the Ruby Dragon or Fina, which are basically completely open. Most high-level chess players are like this. As legend-ranked chess players, they don't care if people know their identity and have no need to hide it. Just like the Black Mage and Roman Emperor, their aliases are even easier to remember than their real names. Under the codename Little Cloud, Yunshi curiously wandered around the Stardust Zone, seeing one after another incredible chessboard with numerous flaws but occasionally with flashes of brilliance. Yunshi was dumbfounded looking at someone killing his own pieces while playing this. How can it be played like this? It was totally against the trajectory of star movements. Another game started and both sides were playing with great difficulty. One side had obtained the absolute upper hand, but none of both sides had found it. They kept on playing with total energy. Perhaps these chess players are somewhat weak in strength, but Yunshi can see from them an inner love for Starry Sky Chess, even immersing themselves in it. If you were to put it in terms of imagery, it's like being addicted to chess and getting more and more immersed in it until you can't break free. On all kinds of star maps, what remains are their sweat and tears. At times enraged, at times devastated, at times roaring with laughter, Yunshi saw more than just a game of chess, but all sorts of life. The world of the Starry Sky Chessboard is pure and enchanting. There are despised demons, symbolic angels, indomitable dragons, and lofty deities inside. On the Starry Sky Chessboard, they are all equal, with each wielding Starry Sky chess pieces, playing in an ever-changing starry world. There is no other place that can gather so many strong warriors of different backgrounds and races to fight in such a peaceful yet special way. Compared to Star Zone, which symbolizes the highest wisdom of the endless gods' domains, the Stardust Zone is more enjoyable, where stories of immense joy are happening every moment. Oh no! Did I make a mistake? How did this happen? Oh no! Undo, undo, I want to undo, wah wah wah. I'm completely defeated, I was wrong. No, don't kill me. I'm going to be eaten. I'm going to be eaten. Just as Yunshi was looking east and west, someone stealthily walked up behind him. This is a chess player whose name is known throughout the Stardust Zone. Behind him was a huge gourd, with a big red nose, small eyes, and a white beard. He looked like a master. In fact, he was indeed a peerless master. His name is Immortal in the Pot, a cultivator at the Golden Core stage. It is said that there is a world hidden in the gourd behind him, which can instantly release the power of the Milky Way to suppress a domain. Just this particular Earth Immortal had an annoying habit, bullying newcomers in the Starry Sky chessboard. He liked to play with rookies. To call it guidance would be incorrect, it is more like a one-sided beating. In Stardust Zone, his strength is able to be ranked at the highest level. Although he has not entered the Star Zone, he is considered one of the most promising legend-ranked players for entering it. After the Starry Sky chessboard was divided into Stardust Zone and Star Zone, he immersed himself in the Stardust Zone all day long and took pleasure in guiding many newcomers. Basically, once he takes a liking to a newcomer, the newcomer would be thoroughly instructed by him. This has become an open secret in Stardust Zone. Today, the Immortal in the Pot saw a newcomer who looked very naive. First, when the newcomer came in, he didn't play a game of chess, but instead observed other players, with a curious look on his face. Second, his nickname gave him away. Ever since the Starry Sky chess master appeared, 8 out of 10 of the newly joined chess players love to choose a nickname related to Cloud. Alibaba Cloud, Thousand Clouds, Question Cloud, 360-degree Cloud, Fast Wind Cloud, these are all the newcomers who were guided by the Immortal in the Pot. Today, the Immortal in the Pot felt that there was a newcomer who needed to be guided by himself. How should he educate this new chess player? Crushing him on the chessboard, crushing him on the chessboard, or crushing him on the chessboard? In short, let the newbie know how weak he is. If you want to succeed and reach for the Star Zone, it's a journey you must take, child. END, Field Separation Characters. 7. Tzlitzjizlux. Chapter 878. Please enter the urn. Hey kid, wanna play a game of chess? After watching Yun-Shi for a while, Immortal in the Pot finally patted Yun-Shi's shoulder generously. Elder, do you want to play chess with me? Yun-Shi curiously looked at the Immortal who had appeared in front of him in human form. He could feel that this was an extraordinary player, and from the big gourd he carried on his back, Yun-Shi could sense a deep and unfathomable aura, like his master, the battle god Cassina. That's right, I'm Immortal in the Pot, a cultivator at the Golden Core stage, one of the supreme elders of the Heaven's Path Palace. Are you the new one from the Sky Tower? Immortal in the Pot squinted his eyes. As one of the few organizations in the East God's domain, the Heaven's Path Palace is a gathering place for countless Taoist practitioners. For the young people of White Lotus Sword Domain and other sword domains, if they don't pass the entrance exam of the Sword Palace, their second choice is the Heaven's Path Palace. Once the talent of cultivation is tested, it is also another way to reach the legend rank. The son of the mayor who died in Yun-Shi's hands, a Shen, was a disciple of Heaven's Path Palace. Yun-Shi looked with amazement at the kind-faced Immortal in the Pot. This was a living legend. He never expected to see a Golden Core Immortal in front of his eyes. In the East God's domain, the Golden Core Immortals are also known as the Earth Immortals, symbolizing the highest level of Taoism. Throughout the East God's domain, such Golden Core Immortals are even fewer than Sky Swords. He never expected an actual Golden Core Immortal here, and it turns out to be the Supreme Elder of Heaven's Path Palace. Starry Sky Chess is the truth of the universe. That you and I could come here to the Starry Sky Chess means we were fated to do so. Immortal in the Pot casually bragged, looking at Yun-Shi with an extremely friendly gaze. Teaching the newcomer the cruelty of the Starry Sky chessboard is just doing a good deed without any fault. Yun-Shi embarrassedly scratched her head, saying, a high monk once said that I have karmic ties with the Buddha. It seems that he really has a fate with Starry Sky chess. As for whether it is also related to Buddhism, it still needs to be verified. Come on, watching 100 games is not as good as trying it once. Play a game with me and you will naturally understand the magnificence of Starry Sky Chess. Immortal in the Pot smiled. Okay, Elder, can you tell me about some of the history of Starry Sky Chess? Yunshi looked at Immortal in the Pot with anticipation. This is a pure newbie. Haha. Of course, I will tell you the full meaning of Starry Sky Chess. Immortal in the Pot smiled as he and Yunshi arrived at the blank chessboard. An endless star map unfolds, all surrounding sounds naturally screened off. Though the scenery of stars densely packed not far away can still be seen, at this moment only Yunshi and Immortal in the Pot are facing each other on the chessboard. Although it is the Stardust Zone, the rules here are the same as in the Star Zone. Who plays first is chosen randomly. Once the chess game starts, it can only end when one side surrenders. The gold hourglasses represented the thinking time for both sides. If the sand of one hourglass runs out, there is no more long thinking time and only seconds left. Yunshi was the first to play. He bet the first move on the Tianyuan position as usual. With a papa, Immortal in the Pot squinted and looked at Yunshi with a smile. Newcomer. A novice among novices. Newcomers like to learn from the invincible Starry Sky Chess Master and put their first move on Tianyuan. Could you and the Starry Sky Chess Master be at the same level? The Starry Sky Chess Master's Tianyuan opening is a highly skilled move, and can't be imitated by newbies. This is the consensus conclusion arrived at by all masters of Starry Sky Chess after researching all the games of the Starry Sky Chess Master. In the Endless Gods domains, there are only 1.5 people who can bring out the advantage of the Tianyuan opening move. In addition to the undefeated Starry Sky Chess Master, only Cyber Elf Alpha is qualified to use this move. Beginners using the Tianyu opening move is no different from courting disaster. However, it is precise because of this that we need such predecessors to guide us in chess, right? Since the new player is so insistent on this Tianyuan opening, he should be told why this opening is wrong. Carrying a mysterious smile, Immortal in the Pot responded to Yunshi's move and put his piece in the corner. This is a move that has been proven countless times throughout the history of Starry Sky Chess. Elder, do you know when Starry Sky Chess started? Yunshi looked at the star map and was already familiar with the general changes ahead. After all, this was his best game. Immortal in the Pot looked into the air with a nostalgic look in his eyes. You've asked the right person this time. According to my knowledge, the trial of the Starry Sky chessboard has already existed since the era when the 7 towers were just established. In other words, this is one of the oldest trials of the 7 towers. Previously, this trial was very rare to come by, and it was the toughest trial with the highest requirements for the testers. You probably don't know, but every time the Starry Sky chessboard's trial appears, even legend-ranked strong people would rush to participate. This Starry Sky chess is so amazingly clever. Paw! Both of them played quickly, with Yunshi following the natural course of events and Immortal in the Pot happily looking on as Yunshi fell into his trap step by step. This strategy is called to lure with kindness and capture without effort. For newcomers, this trick is infallible. The newbies who have been trained by him in his skillful way are increasing. Unfortunately, after playing a game with him, newcomers usually already know the difference in skill level, and it would be difficult to defeat them so easily again. So, how many moves does it take to take down this tender newbie? 10, 20, or even more. Now the Starry Sky chessboard is open, we really have to thank that Starry Sky chess master. If it wasn't for him, we would never have such a chance. Immortal in the Pot stroked his beard, watching the more and more smooth chess game in high spirits. END, Field Separation Characters. 4. Tzlichjizlux. Chapter 879, The Great Reversal. It's time to harvest. Seeing the increasingly obvious chess situation, Immortal in the Pot was elated. This immortal has no other hobbies in his life, only wine and chess. He can't give up. It can be said that he is obsessed. As a golden core immortal, the wine he hasn't drunk in the endless gods' domains basically doesn't exist. The Heaven's Path Palace will also try to collect all kinds of wine for him and let him enjoy it. The problem is chess. Take Go, which is popular in the East God's domain, as an example. His strength is already at the peak of the peak. Go can no longer satisfy the addiction of immortal in the pot. Finally, he became addicted to Starry Sky chess. However, the time of the Starry Sky chessboard's trial is random, sometimes not even once in 1,000 years. In Yunshi's eyes, Starry Sky chess is simple and easy to understand, and he can easily pass the entrance test, but Immortal in the pot could hardly pass it. Before the official opening of the Starry Sky chessboard, the chess players who could play chess here were recognized as the top wise men by the endless gods' domains. The present Stardust Zone is a paradise for Immortal in the pot. He spares no effort to guide the new players, just to let them know the breadth and depth of Starry Sky chess. It's a pleasure to preach, teach and dispel doubts. You are really catching up with all the good times. In the past, if we wanted to play the Starry Sky chess, we have to wait for thousands of years. Immortal in the pot recalled the tension and heartbeat that he was expecting the arrival of the Starry Sky chessboard. The new players in this era, in contrast, as long as they had approval from their own towers, they could come here to play chess. As a senior, naturally, he should give his juniors a friendly lesson. Is there no other place to play Starry Sky chess except here? Yunshi looked at the chess game and felt that there was not much time left. No, even I can't understand the power of the evolutionary star map, which is beyond the control of gods. I don't know how powerful it is to create the Starry Sky chessboard, and how powerful it is to record the stars in the endless sky. Watching Yunshi enter his trap step by step, the mouth of Immortal in the pot showed a wonderful arc. The green and astringent fruit will finally be eaten. Taste the taste of failure, and then come out of it. This is something that young people must learn. Who didn't break his head and bleed on their first try? He wanted to tell the newcomers of Starry Sky chess by example that the world is not as simple as they think. Paw. Immortal in the pot played confidently. If the outcome is determined, there is no need to pretend. Little guy, do you still want to play? Looking at the chess game that had forced Yunshi into a desperate situation, Immortal in the pot touched his beard, and his face was elated. Of course. Yunshi looked at Immortal in the pot, who had the expression of, I have won, in confusion. Can't he see that the winner of this chess game has been decided 10 moves before? Paw. Yunshi placed his chess piece in the center of Immortal in the pot's chess pieces. Schwa. 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 Immortal in the pot looked at the chess piece that fell into his array. First he was puzzled, then his eyes were wide open, and finally he shouted, Impossible, how did I miss such a trick? This, the hell? How can you do this? It's not normal. On the star map, Immortal in the pot's chess pieces instantly became fragmented after Yunshi's chess piece was placed in their center. This move was like a deadly scalpel, directly inserted into the heart of Immortal in the pot, making him miserable. Careless, really careless. Immortal in the pot kept patting his thigh, regretful. Why didn't he see it? It's just a mistake that newcomers make. If you go wrong, you will lose. Now, almost all the advantages he built up in the early game were spent, and the situation looked very bad. Wait a minute, let me think. Wiping the sweat on his forehead, Immortal in the pot began his first long thinking of this round. The golden gravel kept falling, and the face of Immortal in the pot who stared at the chessboard became more and more gloomy. What happened? So far, Immortal in the Pot has not figured out why he was careless enough to ignore such a loophole in his victory. It is clear that the opponent is just a newcomer. He was only one step away from winning. This feeling is as if a piece of fish on a chopping board suddenly jumped up and turned into a man-eating great white shark in the air. Wait, it seems that it's not just here. The more he looks at it, the more loopholes Immortal in the Pot finds. What the hell? When did he make so many mistakes? After so many games of Starry Sky chess and defeating thousands of newcomers, Immortal in the Pot never encountered such a strange thing before. Not only he, but also other chess players who watched the game showed incredible expressions. Will this newcomer win? It was clear that Immortal in the Pot had a big advantage just now. Why does it look like he is about to lose? Ha ha ha, Immortal in the Pot was too careless. This newcomer named Little Cloud, it seems to have the talent of playing Starry Sky chess. During the debate, Immortal in the Pot took a long breath and fully demonstrated his strong spiritual will. He firmly believes that this is just a coincidence. Due to the infinitely changing characteristics of Starry Sky chess, such coincidences would occasionally happen. The probability is that the rabbit will kill itself and present itself to the hunter. He can fight back. There is still a chance to turn the table. He can win. Don't feel fear, just go. Victory belongs to those who persist till the end. After a quarter of an hour, Immortal in the Pot stared at the chessboard and was completely speechless. There is a strange silence, even with depression and fear. At this moment, his face looked like a withered bitter gourd. END, Field Separation Characters. 7. Tzlichjizlux. Chapter 880, Fighting Again, 1. How is this possible? How is it possible that Starry Sky chess can still move like this? Immortal in the Pot, pulling on his own beard, stared fiercely at the chess pieces that almost all got wiped out. Even though he had initiated the assassination and everything was going smoothly, he was about to kill this seemingly fresh-faced newcomer. But just before he was ready to finish him off, the move that the opponent played completely tore apart his winning streak. With only one move, the outcome of the game was completely reversed and even caused one side to start crumbling. This is not a phenomenon that would normally occur in Go, but anything is possible in Starry Sky chess. In the following matches, Immortal in the Pot fought tooth and nail to make up for the damage caused by this one move, but the situation not only didn't improve, but instead became more one-sided. It was like a crack appeared in the bottom of a huge ship. You would block one side, and then another crack would appear on the other. Until all of the sand in the hourglass ran out, Immortal in the Pot's head was turning to mush. As a big shot in the Stardust Zone and a Starry Sky chess master who had the potential to pass the star position test, he had lost in battles with other legend-ranked players before, but never in such a disastrous way. He was truly defeated. Is this still a newcomer? Are there really such highly talented newcomers in this world? He clearly only came here to play chess for the first time today. With a memory ranked at the legend level and experience gained from immersing himself day and night in the Stardust Zone, the real person of Immortal in the Pot knew everything about every master in the entire Starry Sky chess world. Especially with regards to the information of the hundreds of ranked chess players, he knew it like the back of his hand. He was sure that this newcomer, named Little Cloud, was a genuine newcomer, and that it was his first time joining the Starry Sky chess tournament today. He, the Supreme Elder of Heaven's Path Palace, a famous golden core cultivator, how could he lose so badly to a newcomer? His reputation at the legend level was almost completely ruined. Furthermore, his strategies were completely different from those of any Starry Sky chess master he knew. No normal Starry Sky chess player would ever trap themselves in such a desperate position. Could it be possible that he was able to accurately calculate that at the moment he made his move, a fatal flaw would appear in that position? Impossible. Young brother, let's play another game. As the saying goes, the worse one is at chess, the more they love to play. Having lost so incomprehensibly, Immortal in the Pot can't help but seek revenge with another game of chess. Very well, might you share some stories of the famous Starry Sky chess players with me, Senior? Yunshi still harbors an interest for chess players such as the God of Wisdom, Jeweled Princess, Black Mage, Roman Grand Duke, and Maha Mystery, who have played against them in the Starry Sky chess game. The Starry Sky chessboard protects the identities of players during matches. As a result, besides Cyber Elf Alpha, Yunshi is yet to meet the real identities of any other high-ranked Starry Sky chess players. Not a problem, their identities are no secret. Their true selves are not hidden. Immortal in the Pot steadied his emotions and produced a gourd from behind his back. He proceeded to guzzle down several large swigs of his self-brewed century-old wine, Gudong Gudong. This potent alcoholic beverage, known as Shaoxian wine, has a violently wild nature. Even a hero-ranked individual would enter a berserker state after just one sip. It is a renowned fairy wine brewed by Immortal in the Pot. The brewing of this fine wine requires certain rare materials only found in the Kunlun God's domain. There are scarcely any humans in the entire East God's domain who can access the so-called Fantasy God's domain to gather such materials, but Immortal in the Pot is one such person. After consuming the Shaoxian wine, although Immortal in the Pot doesn't succumb to berserker rage, his cheeks flush red and a faint steam can be seen emanating from his head. Immortal in the Pot, who is said to excel in both chess and wine, is showing signs of gearing up for a formidable challenge. Tut, he is going all out. He is actually drinking his Shaoxian wine outside of combat. That thing is his lifeblood and he wouldn't drink a drop unless it was absolutely necessary. Last time, I couldn't even exchange a pot for a broken god weapon, but he actually used it in a game of chess. This child is bound to be an outstanding talent, forcing Immortal in the Pot to use fairy wine. He will surely achieve greatness in the future. More and more people started to crowd around the game between Immortal in the Pot and Little Cloud, and as the infamous newcomer killer of the Stardust Zone, it was the first time Immortal in the Pot had suffered such a defeat. Although his tendency to enjoy guiding games may be somewhat embarrassing, Immortal in the Pot's real chess skills are unquestionable. Search read novel full. Com for the original. In the East God's domain, several familiar legend-ranked individuals wanted him to guide them in chess, offering extravagant coaching fees, but Immortal in the Pot simply refused the exorbitant fees and instead enjoys tirelessly educating newcomers. After being educated by Immortal in the Pot, many of these newcomers are even grateful for the chance to play a game with him despite the high cost of his coaching fee, as Immortal in the Pot mostly only plays with newcomers once. Once you've been defeated by Immortal in the Pot, you won't even have a chance to play with him again. This is what is known as leaving after finishing one's work, deeply hiding one's talent and virtue. Apart from the flaw of slaughtering the young, Immortal in the Pot has actually got very good personal relationships in the field of Starry Sky chess. Since the official opening of the Starry Sky chessboard, he has become a top-notch figure in the Stardust Zone and has also made many friends. Especially among the various immortals of the East God's domain, he was considered one of the best chess players, even beginning to dabble in organizing the East God's domain Starry Sky Chess Association. Therefore, when Immortal in the Pot drank his own fairy wine and took up the second game with Little Cloud, many of the East God's domain immortals who were close to him gathered around, wanting to see what was happening. In the previous game, everyone thought it was a routine slaughter game by Immortal in the Pot, with limited attention. It was not until the second game began that they realized that Immortal in the Pot had actually lost his first game with this newbie. Not only did he lose, but he lost miserably. This was quite surprising. Everyone curiously looked at Little Cloud, on the opposite side of Immortal in the Pot. He really was a novice who was as inexperienced as a blank sheet in Starry Sky chess. How did he beat Immortal in the Pot and force him into a drunken state? Gulugulu. Immortal in the Pot, whose head was already emitting smoke, drank a few more sips of burning fairy wine before pressing the golden hourglass next to him, signaling the start of the second game with a flushed face. Continuing to guess the pieces, Yunshi once again obtained the right to move first. Without a doubt, Yunshi's first move landed on Tianyuan. It's the Tianyuan opening. Is this kid really so confident? This kind of opening is not something that ordinary people can handle. My master told me that if one's skill is not at a certain level, playing this opening would be tantamount to seeking a dead end. In the whole Starry Sky chess world, there is only 1.5 people who can grasp this opening, and yet this kid is also making this move. Watching the first move of Little Cloud landing on Tianyuan, the number of spectators at this moment is more than 10 times that of the first game. Chapter 880, 2, Fighting Again, 2, Chapter 880, Fighting Again, 2, PS1, I'm back. Just earned enough money from another novel I'm translating, so I will soon have money to buy the translation right of this novel, which expired 2 years ago, so I stopped translating at that time. PS2, I will have more time to translate this novel when that novel I'm translating, The Eldest Martial Sister Gave Up Treatment, it's also an interesting novel, is completed, which will be about 1 month later. Being curious is not only a characteristic of the East God's domain, but a common problem for all intelligent races in the endless God's domains. Seeing so many people gathering around this game, even the chess players who are not playing at the moment in other God's domains are also coming over. The Tianyuan opening, before the last Starry Sky chess battle, it was always considered the most disadvantageous opening. If it were not for Starry Sky Chess Master and Cyber Elf Alpha, I am afraid that no one would have thought that the Tianyuan opening in Starry Sky Chess could develop so many variations. Even the powerful Cyber Elf Alpha occasionally makes mistakes and loses a piece or so at the Tianyuan opening. Only the Tianyuan of the Starry Sky Chess Master is truly invincible. Fortunately, Yunshi in the game can't hear the outside comments, otherwise he would probably feel embarrassed. His first move to Tianyuan didn't really hold any special significance, but he felt it was a natural choice to gain control of the situation. It was like having a tactical advantage, with a sense of being able to overlook all the other mountains. Whether or not having the first move to Tianyuan had an advantage was not the most important thing. In fact, many star map with Tianyuan as the opening was at a disadvantage in the early stages of the game, which was consistent with the research on Tianyuan of the Starry Sky Chess Masters from before. However, Yunshi's Tianyuan was based on a high understanding of the entire star map. Even if there was a disadvantage in the early stages, it could be retrieved anytime and anywhere in the later stages. Therefore, Yunshi always used Tianyuan to start the game when he had the first move. For Yunshi, starting the game with Tianyuan was a habit or a belief in occupying the tactical advantage first. Here it comes. Here it comes. When they saw Yunshi's first move to Tianyuan, the onlookers who didn't understand the truth might have thought he was just following the trend set by the Starry Sky Chess Master, like the other newcomers who admired the Starry Sky Chess Master. However, for the real immortal in the pot who suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of Yunshi, this was a real pressure. The sound of Tianyuan landing was like a blow to the soul of immortal in the pot, bringing enormous shock. This kid's Tianyuan was completely different from that of the other newcomers. Immortal in the pot was sweating profusely as he looked at the completely new star chart, trying to find the most significant pattern. Obviously, this is an impossible task, which even the highly skilled Starry Sky chess players cannot achieve. How could Immortal in the pot, who is also a member of the Stardust Zone, accomplish it? Finally, based on his long-standing experience and the famous saying, "Choose the horn to quickly unfold the big picture," he chose to proceed with the horn. This time, he must proceed with caution and not think about slaughtering the young, but rather consider this new opponent as a worthy opponent that is evenly matched with himself. After making this move, Immortal in the Pot unexpectedly noticed that a small pile of sand had already fallen in the hourglass beside him. When did it start taking him so much time to make his opening move? Despite being in a state of empowerment of Shaoxian wine, why is he still so serious? How long has it been since he experienced the feeling of blood burning throughout his body due to such a precarious situation? Search read novel full. Com for the original. Is this still a game for slaughtering young players? Smack. Yunshi continued to lay out his strategy, completely ignoring Immortal in the Pot's horned piece, instead deploying his troops in the Tianyuan zone. Do you even know the rules of Starry Sky chess? Have you not memorized the opening sequences? Immortal in the Pot watched Yunshi make moves that defied convention, bewildered. Hasn't your master taught you the basics of Starry Sky chess? The first move, taking the Tianyuan point, ignoring the corner, is a beginner's move. Could it be that he was defeated by this amateur? Very well, since you're not following the rules of the game, don't blame me for showing no mercy. Such arrogant moves will surely lead to bitter consequences. Let me, Immortal in the Pot, show you the power of the standard moves. Whack! This time, Immortal in the Pot played aggressively, attacking the corner to face off against Yunshi. Yunshi looked at the golden core cultivator in front of him curiously. Was there really such a need to fight over that corner? Obviously, soon the vein of the Starry Sky region would start to weaken irreversibly, causing the power of the chess pieces to become weak as well. Hee hee. Seeing Yunshi's expression, Immortal in the Pot stroked his beard. What do they mean by, the older the ginger, the spicier it is? He would soon give this little guy a lesson. After drinking the Cyoxian wine, his chess skill at least doubled, giving him a certain win this time. Snap! Yunshi shrugged and continued to consolidate his advantage in the Tianyuan zone. It can probably be argued that Cyber Elf Alpha, who once suffered a terrible defeat under Yunshi's hands, has the right to know the result of Yunshi's occupation of the Tianyuan zone. This will be the end of me. This is Cyber Elf Alpha's most common complaint after summarizing their chess experiences with Yunshi. Therefore, as long as she can seize the initiative, Cyber Elf Alpha will always take the Tianyuan zone and never give Yunshi a chance to open with it. Unfortunately, this chance is rare. According to statistics, among the approximately 100 times they had played with the Starry Sky chess master to guess who goes first, only around 11 people can win the initiative. In other words, Starry Sky chess master has an 89% chance of opening with the Tianyuan zone in 100 consecutive games, a probability that makes many people despair. That guy's opening with the Tianyuan zone is the scariest. This is a rare truth that all the high-level chess players who have the chance to play against the mysterious Starry Sky chess master agreed upon. Good. The Immortal in the Pot, who foresaw his own victory and became drunk, was not afraid. You're obsessed with the Tianyuan zone, huh? Let me occupy all four corners for you then. It is obvious that 4 corners versus 1 enclosure is a win-lose situation. Not only was the drunk real Immortal in the Pot thinking like this, but also the martial-level bigwigs watching the game in the Stardust Zone. Immortal in the Pot is now steady, 4 corners surround tactic. Even in a newbie game, there is rarely a game with such a huge difference in chess ability. It seems that this newbie called Little Cloud is really a novice. He must have picked up a fluke in the last game. I think Immortal in the Pot made a big mistake by himself, otherwise, how could he lose so badly? That game must have been an accident. Do you remember, if your chess level is not high enough, it's better not to use the Tianyuan opening. It's a huge disadvantage, and as long as the opponent knows how to respond, it will be a sure defeat. Gold horn and silver edge with a bundle belly, this is the chess pattern summarized by our ancestors. We must believe in the wisdom of our predecessors. Chapter 881, Biddable Stable. After occupying 4 corners in a row, Immortal in the Pot finally breathed a sigh of relief. At least in all the Starry Sky chess patterns he had learned, the chances of winning with 4 corners against the Tianyuan were 100%. In this game, he would definitely not experience the big comeback of the previous round. He has occupied all 4 corners, how could he lose? Hey newcomer, you should just lose to me this round. It doesn't matter how high your talent is in Starry Sky chess, and what achievements you will have in the future, winning against this respected senior in your first chess game in Stardust Zone is really disrespectful. Speaking of which, even his martial brother has the bad habit of teaching newcomers, but his methods are more gentle, better at playing handicap games. If it weren't for the appearance of the Starry Sky chess master, perhaps this sterling chess tournament would have become a stage for Buddhism to become famous all over the world. Maha Mystery, Cyber Elf Alpha, Unrivaled Hero, and finally the most terrifying, A Cloud in the Sky. These 4 newcomers of the Starry Sky chessboard have completely changed the history of Starry Sky chess, especially with their final debut, A Cloud in the Sky, which has yet to face defeat. To access the premium content, go to Read Novel Full. Com. Cyber Elf Alpha's strength is enough to make countless high-ranking Starry Sky chess players feel hopeless. Any player who has played against Cyber Elf Alpha can feel the overwhelming sense of powerlessness in their calculations being completely crushed. Compared to Cyber Elf Alpha's chess, Starry Sky chess master, A Cloud in the Sky, his chess looks plain. Many people don't even know how they lost in the end, which is a world of difference from Cyber Elf Alpha's crazy crushing style. There is only one game of chess where people have witnessed the real attacking power of the Starry Sky chess master. The godly battle, The Fall of the Stars, is destined to be immortalized and engraved in the history of Starry Sky chess as a divine game. When Immortal in the Pot saw that chess game, his whole body was covered in goosebumps. Before the divine game, no one knew that Starry Sky chess could be played in such a manner. After that game, all present came to know that Starry Sky chess could be played in such a manner. The Starry Sky chess master is not incapable of attacking, but if you lack the skill of one as masterful as Cyber Elf Alpha, you have not even earned the privilege of witnessing his attacking methods. Upon reviewing the chess game record of that match, Immortal in the Pot was suddenly struck with a great desire. In this lifetime, he also wishes to play a match with the Starry Sky chess master, regardless of victory or defeat. It is a belief, a dedication. For all enthusiasts of Starry Sky chess, this is likely a dream. Even though he has played just over 100 games, many of the records he left remain incomprehensible to this day, yet the Starry Sky chess master has become a totem in the hearts of all who play the game. No one knows where he comes from, his race or gender are unknown. He is like a cloud on the horizon, arriving silently, leaving behind a game of divine proportions that truly changed the history of Starry Sky chess, then quietly departing without taking a trace of the clouds with him. Countless people wish to play a match with him, but so far only Cyber Elf Alpha, the closest to him, has realized this dream. If he were willing to give guidance, then even the players in the entire Stardust Zone and even the Star Zone above will have to line up for their turn. Judging from the spread speed of Starry Sky chess now, after a year, those who want to queue up will need a 5-digit number. You should know that this is the upper level of the 7 towers. Watching more and more novices come to play chess, Immortal in the Pot, who was brought into the Starry Sky chess gate by his martial brother Dao Quanzi, was overjoyed. After this game, I'll find a new player to guide. Crack. Yunshi's steady move shattered Immortal in the Pot's joyful fantasy. The golden red brilliance is gradually lighting up from the center area of the star chart. What is this? Immortal in the Pot looked confused. What is this? I have seen this is. Could it be? Oh my god. Very few people can truly see this scene just by looking at the chessboard. Even in the games played by high-level Starry Sky chess players, it is rare to see such a spectacle. In battles at the Stardust Zone, it is almost impossible for this scene to occur. This represents the power of starry sky chess pieces on the star map, calling forth fantastic creatures symbolizing the power of the stars. It is not surprising that Immortal in the Pod has not seen it, as only those who face the endless radiance emanating from the star map can truly comprehend it, which is quite different from merely looking at the chessboard. Even if it is recorded in a chess manual, it is impossible to fully depict the posture of these star creatures. Those who just look at the manual often see either a burst of golden light or something similar to a dark nebula. Only true players can clearly see what they or their opponents have summoned and possessed, and what terrible power they have. As a golden core cultivator who has long cultivated eternal life and perspective, Immortal in the Pod has never imagined in his life that he would see the dreamy scene that represents the starry sky chess peak while playing at the Stardust Zone. Golden Horn, Silver Edge, Straw Bale Belly, is indeed the correct formula discovered by countless starry sky chess players applicable to all low-level games, and in this respect, Immortal in the Pod's layout is not wrong. However, a new player named Little Cloud held a higher level of understanding of the starry sky chess regulations. In the midst of all the phenomena, everything is possible. In the world of starry sky chess, there are infinite possibilities, akin to the rules of Go, but only as the outermost reinforcement. To hold the stars, manipulate the trajectories of the stars, attract god-level creatures that fly in the world of the stars, and even cause the stars to collapse and shatter. That is the highest realm of starry sky chess. It's like how 1 + 1 = 2 is an absolute and correct truth at the most basic level of addition, but when reaching a certain level, it will evolve into higher and more difficult problems. Princess Yunshi lightly stroked the familiar golden feather with his fingertip, feeling the warm breath that wasn't at all burning. Or rather, it is only for the hand that controls the stars that the true fire of the great sun crow will be so gentle, and the bird will be so dependent. Gudong. Gudong. Immortal in the Pod felt like he must have had too much to drink, or perhaps not enough. Well, it must be so. Otherwise, why would he be sweating profusely and experiencing illusions? How could that golden dreamlike god bird, whose feathers were floating in the air, give him, a golden core cultivator, a sense of deadly oppression? Chapter 882, 3 Stages of Starry Sky Chess in one tournament after another of the Starry Sky Chess. The legend-ranked enthusiasts who were keen on the trial of the Starry Sky chessboard gradually summarized several stages of the game. The first stage is known as Star Falling. In this stage of Starry Sky chess, it mainly takes on the form of Go, where whoever can eat more pieces and occupy more territory will gain a huge advantage. The formalized pattern of the game, also borrowing the terminology of Go, is used to construct consistent formations for novice players in the constantly changing game of Starry Sky chess. This stage of Starry Sky chess could be considered an evolution of Go. However, occasionally someone could make an unbelievable move on the Starry Sky chessboard, resulting in various fascinating phenomena. This marks the second stage of Starry Sky chess, where it starts to break away from the rules of Go and expose more rules of its own. Essentially, Starry Sky chess is a seemingly simple game of placing and occupying on the board, where every move a player makes will impact the star chart. The star chart itself is constantly changing, and each move made by the chess player could potentially result in endless possibilities. However, due to the limited variables, it cannot be reflected on the star chart. Therefore, the change in the second stage of Starry Sky chess is called Star Summoning. Starry Sky chess players who can achieve this step, even if they make it by chance, represent extraordinary talent. To reach the higher level, this is the skill that must be learned. Norn the God of Wisdom. Princess Orfina, the Ruby Dragon. Maple Fong, the Black Mage, Duke Roman, and Maha Mystery. The high-level players in the top 10 ranking of Star Zone are all masters of this level, and Cyber Elf Alpha, who is almost invincible in Star Zone, is among the top players. When playing against other high-level chess players, Cyber Elf Alpha often exerts crushing calculation power, summons the power to destroy everything, and completely shatters her opponents. Everyone has always thought that this is the end of Starry Sky chess, until the day when facing Cyber Elf Alpha's crazy attack, the figure standing at the pinnacle of the stars made a chess game that no one has been able to replicate so far. The third stage of Starry Sky chess, Star Collapse, a game played only once by the gods, symbolizes a myth of Starry Sky chess. This novel is available on readnovel.com. Most of the chess players in Stardust Zone are newcomers who haven't even completed the star falling stage. It's even harder to imagine what the star summoning in the second stage would be like. Now, they finally witnessed, with their own eyes, the greatness belonging to Starry Sky chess. So, it wasn't just me being drunk. Immortal in the Pot looked at the golden bird dancing on Yunshi's fingertips with envy. This is the true and pure fantasy from beyond the stars, a miracle that can only be realized by the Starry Sky chessboard. Within the Starry Sky chessboard lies great knowledge, great opportunities, and great destiny. No, it's not just a fantasy species symbolizing the rules of the world. As long as they are recorded in the memory of the stars, all creatures will appear on the star chart. Even the greatest creatures that will be born in the distant future may appear. All the races and civilizations that have never been in contact with the outside world are recorded on this Starry Sky chessboard. Everything that existed in the past, present, and future has the potential to appear on the Starry Sky chessboard and interact with the chess players. This is such a miracle, even the gods cannot do it. At this moment, the golden mythical bird dancing on the fingertips of a little cloud is the one that will be remembered by the Starry Sky. She proudly displays her golden red wings, releasing an endless breath of sun flames to everyone. Undoubtedly, this is a born sunwalker, a powerful fantasy species that dances in the 33 heavens. If a practitioner of the cultivation fire system can contact and communicate with it even once, it is possible to comprehend the great power of the fire system. Every trace of its breath is a treasure among treasures, and the benefits of obtaining it are infinite. What kind of great fortune did this boy receive? To be able to summon such a divine bird, you must have used up all your luck from your past 18 lives, haven't you? From your appearance, it seems like you were a pure-hearted child in your past life, which is why you had a chance encounter with this golden divine bird in this life. This kind of great opportunity, not to mention me, even my martial brother Dao Quanzi would envy it. Immortal in the Pot drank half a gourd of his Shaoxian wine wildly, his eyes almost red. What he cultivated is precisely the divine powers of the fire system. If he could exchange it, he would be willing to use half of his wealth to exchange for a chance to be so intimate with this golden divine bird. Why is it that the person who gets a chance encounter with this divine bird is not a reputable person like me who accumulates karma by playing chess and doing good deeds every day, but this newcomer? Look at you, what an improper manner. This is a mythical bird born with the true sun flames, yet you dare to touch it with your fingers. Stop touching. Haven't you had enough? Why do you keep touching? Princess, we meet again. Yunshi gently scratched the wings of the golden crow, skillfully finding its sensitive spot. The power of the sun in this star map is not very strong, so it cannot summon the mighty great sun golden crow as in the Starry Sky chess game. It can only summon this small golden crow that is only the size of a palm. However, it should be more than enough to defeat that immortal in the pot. Oh. The Golden Crow Princess danced happily on Yunshi's fingertips, occasionally pecking at his familiar nail and singing a cheerful song. She really enjoys being summoned by Yunshi from the chessboard. If only the power of the sun in this star map was stronger, she could easily burn all the messy chess pieces on the opposing side. Snap! The chess piece in Yunshi's hand was burning with golden red flames, and the second level of the starry sky chess was imprinted on the star chart, causing an entire star region to ignite. Even the tiny golden bird has the momentum to burn mountains and seas. Its size is irrelevant, as it is naturally divine. Chapter 883, Envying Him. Defeated. Since the Golden Crow Princess danced on Yunshi's fingertips, Immortal in the Pot knew he had lost, and lost terribly. This newcomer is incredibly strong. Whether it's luck or something else, any chess player who can summon the star spirits on the starry sky chessboard and pass the star position test is only a matter of time. The appearance of star spirits, whether gods from the past, fantasy species, or others, represents that the chess player has monster-level talent for the starry sky chess. The few hero-ranked chess players in the star zone are such monsters. Many star position tests that cannot be surpassed by legend ranks are just a beginner's course for them. These monsters are simply born heroes for the starry sky chess. Among them, some possess unparalleled judgment, some excel in military tactics, and some have extraordinary insight into the power of the stars. Even during their novice phase, they were able to demonstrate their talent in starry sky chess. Calling forth spirits is undoubtedly the best way to showcase this gift. To trigger the hidden power within the starry sky through starry sky chess pieces, one must either use calculations that are thousands of times stronger than the normal legend ranked, just like Cyber Elf Alpha, or have the ability to comprehend the mysterious trajectories among the stars in order to capture the mystical power hidden within the star chart. Immortal in the Pot cannot achieve either of these points, and neither can most of the legend ranked. Young, too young. After confirming his defeat, Immortal in the Pot continued to move his pieces while shaking his head. Are you giving up on yourself, sir? No, he is merely entertaining himself. Since he cannot win anyway, is he trying to prolong the game? Exactly, this is a game where spirits have been called forth, and there have been very few instances of this happening in his lifetime. Furthermore, the divine creature that appeared is the most suitable fire attribute bird for his character. Immortal in the Pot's expression was very easy to understand. He was drunk to the point of being intoxicated and his eyes were turning red as he gazed at the Golden Crow Princess. Ah! This divine bird is simply too beautiful. Why wasn't this divine bird of the sun summoned by him? If he had known that occupying the Tianyuan region could summon such a golden-red golden crow, he would have made every effort to do so. Immortal in the Pot was filled with regret, to the point where stamping his foot was not enough to express it. Only by gazing harshly at the golden crow, memorizing every feather and every gesture, could he slightly make up for this great regret. Ah! Yunshi noticed that from the moment he summoned the Golden Crow Princess, the eyes of the prestigious and respected Golden Core cultivator on the other side had changed. Those eyes were full of intense heat and almost drooling. Snap! After a long time, Immortal in the Pot finally made his move, but he didn't even look at where he placed his piece. At this point, it doesn't matter how the game progressed, because it's all a loss anyway. What's important is the golden red divine bird. Once again, Immortal in the Pot despised his lackluster talent in starry sky chess. He was a prestigious Golden Core cultivator of the legend ranked, and had even been taken under the tutelage of the venerable martial brother Dao Quanzi. Yet he failed to even pass the star positioning test. Now, his attempt to slaughter the young had resulted in him taking 10,000 points of damage from a novice. Gudong. Gudong. Only great drunkenness could alleviate his worries. Immortal in the Pot savored the opportunity to observe the sun god bird that was so hardly come by, as he indulged in the Shaoxian wine and became more unrestrained by the minute. Yunshi was too embarrassed to remind the distinguished Immortal in the Pot, who had made his entrance with an air of unparalleled mastery, that he was actually eating the chess pieces. Is this some sort of new tactic? Is there a trap hidden that he cannot fathom? The suicide formation. Yeah. The Golden Crow Princess was unceremoniously wielding the power of the true sun's flames in the star map, conquering territory with ease and engulfing Immortal in the pot's already decimated chess formation. With each move Yunshi made, the golden red hues on the star map grew more intense, and the proud Golden Crow Princess danced jubilantly at his fingertips. Immortal and the pot's few pitiful chess pieces were trembling in fear, even as they huddled in the remotest corner of the star map. A quick look at Read Novel Full. Calm will leave you more fulfilled. The disparity is just too great. Even when playing chess with his martial brother Dao Quanzi, Immortal and the pot had never suffered such a miserable defeat. The power gap between them had completely flipped with their true cultivation base. The master has lost this round. Of course, the moment the newbie summoned the divine bird, it was defeat after defeat for the master. Judging from the master's expression, it seems he is finding pleasure in his suffering. Indeed, he has lost and been defeated. The master who slaughters the young has now been slaughtered in turn. Although the two in the game could not hear it, Immortal in the pot clearly noticed something and boasted to his group of friends, indicating that he could still fight. As long as the hourglass has not run out, the battle is not over. He hasn't had enough of looking at that cute little bird yet. Thus, with an immensely strong will, Immortal in the pot refused to give up and kept staring enviously and jealously at the Golden Crow Princess entwined around Yunshi's fingertips. Why bother playing chess when it's time to admire the bird? The grains of sand from the golden hourglass fell one by one, and finally, Immortal in the pot ran out of time again while the one on Yunshi's side remained almost untouched. Snap! Immortal in the pot grinded his teeth and made a move. Snap! Immortal in the pot made a vicious move. Snap! Immortal in the pot made a move as if he was going to devour his opponent. Senior, you've already made all your moves. Yunshi helplessly looked at Immortal in the pot making futile moves on the board, where he had lost all his pieces. The entire chessboard was already shrouded in endless flames of the sun, as the proud Golden Crow Princess danced in the highest realm of the starry sky, showering everything with a golden red brilliance. According to the current rules, Immortal in the pot couldn't make any more moves, which is a rare occurrence of absolute victory in starry sky chess. I can still fight. Let me watch for a while longer, just a little longer. Immortal in the pot shouted loudly as he gazed at the golden red divine bird that had occupied the entire star map. Missing this opportunity, who knows how long it will take to find this golden red divine bird again. Even the exact time period when this divine bird existed, whether it was in the past, present, or future, is unknown. The Golden Crown Princess landed comfortably on Yunshi's fingertips, unfurled her wings, glanced back at Yunshi with a smile, and whispered something only he could hear. Remember to meet me in the Kunlun God's domain. Chapter 884, Another Newcomer, My Little Bird. Hand it over, I want to see it one more time. Immortal in the pot grabbed Yunshi's collar, tears streaming down his face, with a look of despair. Ha ha ha, old man, you fell for it. Search Read Novel Full. Calm for the original. Indeed, it's a pity. I wanted to play another game of summoning spirits like this next time. Young man, you have a bright future. It seems like the East God's domain will have another ranked chess player. The future belongs to you. A group of elders from the Heaven's Path Palace laughed loudly, and some even began to applaud Yunshi. Some people were even more concerned about Yunshi, with clear intentions. Young man, how old are you? Are you married? I have a few granddaughters who are still unmarried and have a special interest in starry sky chess. Go away, old ghost, you'll be forever single, where would you find a granddaughter? Don't mind this old man, come to our Pine Crane Palace instead. We are currently lacking a master for starry sky chess, the benefits are generous. So young and talented, whose disciple are you? Young man, you have a bright future. How about joining our spirit-pearled Tao Palace? Even among the elders of the Heaven's Path Palace, there are factions. When they see talented individuals, how could they not try to recruit them? The Heaven's Path Palace is an extremely vast organization, with over dozens of Tao palaces distributed across the East God's domain. Unlike the Sword God's domain, which is dominated by the sword, the Heaven's Path Palace is a truly large-scale sect that spans across God's domains. Go away, this young man was clearly discovered by me. If he's joining, it will be in my Heaven's Path school. At this point, Immortal in the Pot went crazy and spat on a group of old friends who came to recruit the young man. Didn't your Heaven's Path school stop accepting disciples a long time ago? The elders of the Heaven's Path Palace were all looking at each other. The Heaven's Path School is the highest sect in the entire Heaven's Path Palace. There are already 3 golden core cultivators who serve in the palace, and each one has a higher cultivation base than the other. Even though Immortal in the Pot has the weakest cultivation base, his talent in Starry Sky chess is not bad. He also brews a good Shaoxian wine, and has a broad circle of friends. His figure can be found all over half of the Endless Gods domains, and he frequents the gatherings of the gods in the Western Gods domain. Now, Dao Quanzi, the number 1 player in Starry Sky chess in the Heaven's Path Palace, who is considered the next successor to the Palace Master position, is the true person in charge, and was once recognized as the number 1 player in Starry Sky chess in the East Gods domain. His cultivation base is unfathomable. And, hailed as the strongest golden core cultivator in the world, Immortal Qingxue, who wields 7 ancient god weapons. This individual is the widely known number 1 force of the Heaven's Path Palace, believed to be the legend most likely to ascend to the position of the celestial immortals of the Heaven's Path Palace. A school with 3 golden core cultivators, having 12 disciples under its tutelage, all of whom are believed to possess the qualification of Earth Immortals, undoubtedly the strongest sect of the Heaven's Path Palace. Every time the Heaven's Path School opens the gate to accept disciples, those who wish to become cultivators of the Heaven's Path School would have to circle around the entire hall of the Heaven's Path Palace 10 times. However, since the appearance of the final registered disciple, the entire Heaven's Path School has not accepted any new disciples ever again. It is said that this is because Immortal Qingxue believes that the current 12 disciples are already sufficient to inherit the grand tradition of the Heaven's Path School, and there is no need to open the gate to accept more disciples. Even if it's my martial sister, she would probably be moved by this young man, Immortal in the Pot confidently stated. If he were the one in charge of the Heaven's Path School, with his passion for chess and backed by martial brother Dao Quanzi who would definitely support him, it would be a sure deal to accept this gifted young man of Starry Sky chess as their disciple. However, the one in charge of the Heaven's Path School at present is not them, but the youngest and most accomplished cultivator in the history of the entire Heaven's Path School, the young martial sister Immortal Qingxue. For reasons unknown, this young martial sister doesn't like males, and the last 3 disciples accepted by the Heaven's Path School in this generation are all females. This is not right. Your Heaven's Path School has stopped accepting disciples a long time ago. Don't delay others. The famous cleanliness fanatic Immortal Qingxue probably wouldn't have the patience to teach this young man. Let us handle it instead. The elders breathed a sigh of relief upon realizing that Immortal in the Pot was just putting on an act. If the Heaven's Path School really tried to recruit this young man, they wouldn't stand a chance. Fortunately, Immortal Qingxue doesn't like male disciples, which is well known throughout the entirety of the East God's domain and gives other Daoist sects a chance. Unfortunately, they celebrated too early. I already have a master, sorry. Yunxi explained to the elders of the Heaven's Path Palace who surrounded him, stating that he was just here to play chess and had no intention of seeking in discipleship. He was perfectly content with his master, Casina the Battle God. In fact, he idolized her. After all, it was Cassina's guidance that led him to the world of Starry Sky chess and ultimately brought him to where he is today. Without Cassina's guidance, he wouldn't even know where the entrance to Starry Sky chess was. At this point, the elders of the Heaven's Path Palace were dumbfounded. Who is your master? Is it that your skill in chess has been taught? No wonder. What do you think? This boy is not a beginner's level, is your master perhaps? Before Yunshi could explain, the entire Stardust Zone suddenly shook. Huh, what's this? This kind of aura, which master has arrived? No, it's a newcomer. How is it possible? Is there really such a newcomer? Not only the elders of the Heaven's Path Palace, but even Yunshi noticed the uniqueness of the newcomer, who suddenly appeared in the Stardust Zone. Her appearance was truly stunning and awe-inspiring. A pure white aura surrounded her, and even the Stardust Zone, which restricted cultivation base, couldn't block the extraordinary aura that was beyond human imagination. She wore a 7-colored crown, suspended in the void about 1 meter above the ground, her snow-white ankles stepping on a transparent halo, and hazy clouds covering her true face, emitting an incredible mysterious beauty. Every inch of her skin, every part of her body, seemed to embody some kind of supreme truth of heaven and earth, symbolizing the incarnation of beauty. A strange creature, radiating a golden light, entwined around her body, with its entire body snow-white. This snake-like creature unfolded 3 pairs of transparent wings on its back, meandering freely in the clouds without flapping its wings, and releasing the original rules of thunder and lightning with ease. That is, the feathered serpent. Not just any feathered serpent, but the highest level of feathered serpent, the king of the feathered serpents. With 3 pairs of wings, this is the true body of the feathered serpent in its ultimate form, the source of thunder and lightning. Those who recognized the transparent snake-like creature turned pale one after another. The thunder and lightning power ruled by the fantasy species of the feathered serpent represented the most violent lightning rules among all the elemental rules. In terms of rank, the power of this feathered serpent even surpasses that of most deities in the endless gods' domains. Chapter 885, Dark Abyss God's Domain. Despite being surrounded by mist and only revealing a small portion of her skin, this woman who appeared for the first time in the Stardust Zone still caught everyone's attention. Even golden core cultivators like Immortal in the Pot couldn't help but widen their eyes upon seeing her. Strong, unabashedly strong. Even in the Starry Sky chessboard trial where combat was not allowed and everyone's power was restricted, her strength still shone brilliantly. The 6-winged feathered snake joyfully swimming beside her is the best proof that this lightning's favorite has clearly been tamed by her. Each gemstone in the 7-colored crown contains a terrifying power, undoubtedly a top-tier god weapon. Who is this? Immortal in the Pot searched through all the experts in the East God's domain, but couldn't find anyone on a legend ranked who could match this figure. She's not from our Western God's domain. Similarly, chess players from the Western God's domain also shook their heads, indicating that they didn't know this up-and-coming newcomer. I haven't seen her. If she were on a legend ranked in our North God's domain, there's no way we wouldn't have any impression. Now, the North God's domain centered around Giant Dragon God's domain has also been excluded. The rest is. The faces of the few chess players from the South God's domain suddenly changed as if they had thought of something, but they trembled and didn't dare to speak. In the world of the endless God's domains, the East God's domain, the Western God's domain, and the North God's domain all have their respective corresponding creators. The East God's domain is ruled by the Kunlun God's domain, the mother of the 10,000 monsters, Her Majesty, the West Queen. The Western God's domain, the ruler of the colorful realms, the God of gods, Ionia. The North God's domain, the mother of time and space, the supreme dragon god, Yasha. Only in the South God's domain, there is no absolute ruler, or a terrifying existence with a dominating rank that extends beyond its peers. Compared to the other three gods' domain, the order in the south god's domain is the most chaotic, accommodating all sorts of disorder, evil, and strange things. Therefore, the south god's domain, also known as the dark abyss god's domain, symbolizes an endless place of darkness and abyss, which is the least ventured by humans and the most inhabited by various ancient evil creatures in the god's domain. In the Seven Towers Alliance, there are as many as 3 towers standing in the South God's domain. The Earth Tower, the Shadow Tower, the King Tower, and the Sky Tower in the East God's domain, the God Tower in the Western God's domain and the Dragon Tower in the North God's domain correspond to each other. Moreover, the strength of these 3 towers is by no means inferior to that of the Sky Tower, the Dragon Tower, and the God Tower supported by 3 gods' domains. With the power of a single god's domain, they achieved the great feat of confronting the other 3 gods' domains. As there has never been any unified force, the situation in the South God's domain is the most chaotic and changeable among the 4 gods' domains. It even has friction with the other 3 gods' domains at the same time, and sometimes erupts into massive wars. From that endless chaos, emerged very terrifying power. Yunshi looked at the legend-ranked experts said to be from the Dark Abyss God's domain, and smelled the breath from the abyss emanating from her. Among the endless gods' domains, the abyss area corresponding to the ancient gods is located on the dark side of the entire world. Without a doubt, the Dark Abyss God's domain is the starry area where the ancient gods appear the most. It is said that over 1/3 of the world in the entire Dark Abyss God's domain has been occupied by the ancient gods and turned into an endless abyss. This kind of world would never be allowed to happen in the other 3 gods' domain, and occasionally, the ancient gods that come to these 3 gods' domain would sneakily devour the creatures of a world before retreating back to the abyss. Only in the South God's domain, meaning the Dark Abyss God's domain, can they appear with great pomp in broad daylight, even become the dominators of many small and medium-sized gods' domains, regarded as true gods. Don't be afraid, even the legend ranked in the Dark Abyss God's domain can't violate the rules of the Starry Sky chessboard here. Yes, the trial rules of the Starry Sky chessboard have been granted. The speaker quickly stopped talking, apparently the secret was public, but no one dared to discuss it. After all, this is the world of the Starry Sky chessboard, the highest level trial stage of the Seven Towers Alliance. Even dangerous creatures from the Dark Abyss God's domain cannot kill here, only play chess. However, compared to most other 3-party gods' domains that know each other thoroughly, the Dark Abyss God's domain, in endless chaos and darkness, seldom appears openly in the trials of the 7 towers. Compared to the 7 towers trials, the legend ranked of the Dark Abyss God's domain prefers the real-world bloodshed, death, and darkness. They are mostly monsters that other legend ranks of gods' domains try to avoid. Speaking of which trials attract them, probably only the Battle Gods Championship contest, representing the highest combat ability of the endless gods' domains on the stage of the 7 towers trial. The legend ranked from the Dark Abyss God's domain is recognized as the opponent that people would rather not encounter in the Battle Gods Championship contest. Their attribute mostly being chaotic, and being incompatible with other intelligent beings, they never regarded the Battle Gods Championship contest as an arena, but a slaughterhouse. In such a unique environment, chess players from Dark Abyss God's domain who come to the Starry Sky chessboard are naturally rare. They have formed their own small circle and rarely communicate with outsiders. However, at this moment, the entire group of this small circle looked at the figure with the feathered serpent king descending on the Stardust Zone, and all of them showed a fearful expression. As one of the few pacifists in Dark Abyss God's domain, they could hardly imagine that this figure would come to the trial of the Starry Sky chessboard. Shouldn't she be in the city? The King of the 7-color crown. The Princess of the Tower of the King, the Demon King, feared by countless people in the Dark Abyss God's domain. Search read novel full. Com for the original. The King of Feathered Serpents looked curiously around, coiling obediently around the woman's arm, while the seven-colored crown released dazzling radiance. Then the woman chose a seat and started playing chess. Silently, a large number of chess players gathered around this mysterious king, watching her play. Yunxi was also one of them, finally liberated from the elder siege of the elders of the Heaven's Path Palace. With a curious mentality, he gazed at the snow-white little hands, feeling a sense of incredulity. Her chess was played very quickly, so fast that it didn't seem like Starry Sky chess. Even the rules used didn't seem like Starry Sky chess. The opponent chosen by her looked completely bewildered as he gazed at her 4-4 and 3-3 tactic, his face full of disbelief. Is this Starry Sky chess? Why does it seem so much like the moves in Gomoku? The problem is that this move possesses an astonishing power. Once the 5 pieces form a line, it will emanate a radiance that could cleave through all things, flashing away from the star chart. At this moment, all the chess players remembered this name, the new chess player who possessed an unparalleled ferocity, Sweet Dream. Chapter 886, Sweet Dream. What? Starry Sky chess can still be played like this. Immortal in the Pot felt that his 3 views had been completely subverted today. Not only him, but other Starry Sky chess players watching the game also showed the same expression. The entry-level stage of the 3 realms of Starry Sky chess, Star Falling, is a realm that has been summarized by the predecessors of Starry Sky chess players, and is best expressed in the form of Go chess. The weakest among those able to play under the Starry Sky chess board is also the elite of hero rank. Naturally, they can easily master the rules of Go, and their ability to learn established patterns is beyond doubt. In the hearts of everyone, Go is the best way to learn Starry Sky chess, and it still has very high reference value until the Star Falling peak. Until this round, the newcomer, Sweet Dream, from the Dark Abyss God's domain showed everyone that Starry Sky chess can be played like this. That's right, Starry Sky chess is played like this. Yunxi smiled and watched Sweet Dream play Gomoku, feeling a sense of camaraderie with her. No one has ever specified that Starry Sky chess must be played according to the rules of any particular game. Make a move. Occupies, holding the Starry Sky chess pieces, enjoy the pleasure of stars falling into your hands on endless star charts, watching the starry sky being changed by the stars. This is the meaning of Starry Sky chess. The rules of Starry Sky chess have never been fixed. Those experiences and patterns summarized by the past Starry Sky chess players are only a small part of the Starry Sky chess world. It's like people observing another world through small holes opened on a wall that they cannot see the end or thickness of. Everyone sees a different world through their own small hole, and the rules they summarize about that world are different and even contradictory. However, they are actually observing the same world in the same place, but they cannot see the real world because they observe too little. Starry Sky chess is such a world of truth. Past Starry Sky chess players used Go as a tool to study Starry Sky chess, and derived rules and patterns that are suitable for Starry Sky chess. These are not wrong and viable because these rules are one of the parts accommodated by Starry Sky chess. Similarly, the moves of Sweet Dream right now are correct. She used the moves of Gomoku to play Starry Sky chess and automatically understood the cutting rule that belongs to Starry Sky chess. Judging solely from her comprehension of the Starry Sky chess, she has even surpassed Cyber Elf Alpha, whose chess strength is currently second only to Yunxi, and possesses an innate talent for capturing the laws of the Starry Sky. Cyber Elf Alpha also possesses the same talent, but her talent is a crushing talent that is based on the support of a huge planetary quantum computer group, which is another kind of violent talent. You lost. Watching the newcomer who came to play chess for the first time, the 10th Wise One, Sweet Dream's opponent, cleanly drops the piece and concedes defeat. His chessboard has been cut into a mess of 3 strands and 5 strings, which is a game he has never played before and is even beyond imagination. Known as the 10th Wise One, He represents his identity as a wise man recognized by the Western God's domain and the God Tower, and is a true great magician and one of the top 10 masters in the Wise Council. Although he cannot compare with Norn the God of Wisdom, who currently holds the title of the First Wise One, as a newly promoted wise man, he had considerable confidence in his own chess skills. He was one of the newcomers in the Stardust Zone who was considered to be a sure thing to achieve a rank in the future. But now, he saw a wall called talent, which made people feel hopeless. Also a newcomer, Sweet Dream's chess moves had completely baffled him. How could Gamoku, 5 in a row, exert such power? Is it wrong to be confined to the established forms of Go? The 10th Wise One asked himself, then shook his head. No, it is not Go, which is the learning tool for the first stage of Starry Sky chess, that is wrong. This is the golden rule that has been summed up by countless Starry Sky chess players and is applicable to most of the players from the Endless Gods domains. The logical calculation and research on territorial occupation in Go are extremely suitable tools for beginners to enter the world of Starry Sky chess and can be used until the peak of the star falling stage. However, some people are born to follow an unconventional path. The world of Starry Sky chess seen through their eyes is completely different from the normal way of playing the game. Such individuals are bound to become monsters on the Starry Sky chessboard and eventually reach the summit of the stars. He accepted his defeat wholeheartedly. I'll play. Upon witnessing the 10th Wise Man's miserable loss, someone quickly sat across from Sweet Dream and challenged this newcomer. Throughout this game, everyone once again saw how Sweet Dream from the Dark Abyss God's domain plays chess. She doesn't even understand the conventional rules of Starry Sky chess, nor does she bother with the rules of Gold Horn, Silver Edge, Grass Bag Stomach. Her moves are dignified, straightforward, and easy to understand. Find the original at Read Novel Com. 4-4, 3-3, 4-3. No matter how complex and sophisticated her opponent's moves are, no matter which piece of land they occupy, she always responds in the simplest way. Her chess pieces always move forward in a straight line, resolute and unyielding. Every time she completes a row of 5, a sharp flash of light shimmers across the Starry Sky chessboard. That is the princess wielding her sword. That is the king's footsteps. That is an unstoppable, undefendable ray of slaughter. The more you play against her, the more you feel the gap called talent, which shows up concretely on the Starry Sky chessboard as a means of killing and turns into a force to be reckoned with. You play Go, I play 5 in a row and then force you into my rhythm, using my unparalleled skills to slay you. This is probably Sweet Dream's way of playing. Chess players who are killed by this kind of tactic cannot recover for a long time, just as if a divine sword had truly struck their soul. Even though all sounds were cut off when clearly was playing chess, everyone who watched Sweet Dream's chess game heard the sound of the sword's melody. Sever. Cut. Show no mercy, give no chance. Each of her moves was equivalent to a sword strike. Even though she had no sword in her hands, onlookers could not help but envision the silhouette of an unparalleled divine sword. The opponent she played chess with was the target she tested her swordsmanship against. Terrifying as it is, what kind of talent is this? Dark Abyss God's domain, it really is a gathering place for monsters. It's my turn next. I don't believe I can't beat 5 in a row at Go. The gazes of the people were gradually infected with shock and trembling. It was an instinctive reaction to witnessing the unsheathing of an unparalleled divine sword. Those who were stunned by this style of play had to admit that some people are just born different. In the world of Starry Sky chess, there is now another chess player with unparalleled talent. Today is the moment for her to slay in all 4 directions. Chapter 887, The Challenge from Sweet Dream PS1. I will come back to translate this novel soon. PS2. no one would believe what happened when I tried to buy this novel's translation right back and publish it on Amazon again. I almost felt hopeless and was ready to give up. Fortunately, I overcame the obstacles. This time, once I started to translate the next chapter, 888, I wouldn't stop until I finished translating the last chapter. Victory! 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 Sweet Dream left no chance for the opponent, and with each game, the unstoppable and lethal swordlight was certain to appear. Although it was a game of chess, Sweet Dream's movements resembled that of a swordsman, with each strike hitting the opponent's vital points, causing real damage beyond any defense. Inevitable and unavoidable, even in the vast expanse of the starry sky, once Sweet Dream's swordlight appeared, it dealt a severe blow to the opponent. Several legends of the rank suffered a crushing defeat, with even their steps faltering. Playing against Sweet Dream not only consumed one's mental energy, but also damaged one's soul with every move. As a newcomer to the Stardust Zone, Sweet Dream has already won 30 consecutive games, and no one has been able to last until the middle or endgame on the Starry Sky chessboard. Her attacks are always swift, ruthless, and effective. Among 1,000 troops and 10,000 horses, the head is taken straight away. Such a remarkable move. Even Yunshi couldn't help but applaud her brilliance. This style of play had never before been seen on the Starry Sky chessboard, a visible gift. Her game was like a legendary sword, unparalleled. At that moment, the sword had already been unsheathed, seeking challengers to duel with and rise to the top of the Starry Sky. My lord, would you like to play a game? Another challenger has arrived. As customary, it is your turn to play. If now isn't the time to act, then when is? The elders of the Heaven's Path Palace encouraged and stirred Immortal in the Pot to take the challenge. Go! 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 I've had too much to drink. I won't pick on a little girl today. Immortal in the Pot huffed, looking at his group of drinking buddies. Going up now would be like lambs to the slaughter. Several players at the legend rank who could spar with him evenly have already been beat until their faces turned blue. Each move played resulted in a surprising development. This young lady from the Dark Abyss God's domain is already unmatched. He just finished a game with Little Cloud and was completely exhausted. Going up now meant surrendering immediately. Oh, isn't it true that you always boast of being able to drink 1,000 cups without getting drunk? So even the fairy in the wine pot can really get drunk. This little girl seems to be about to dominate the Stardust Zone. The elders of Heaven's Path Palace around had a smile on their faces, which made Immortal in the Pot blush. Previously, most people avoided the legend ranked of the Dark Abyss God's domain, but it is different here. The Starry Sky chessboard is one of the few trials in the Endless God's domains that is completely forbidden from fighting. Whoever comes here, even if it's a demon god or a powerful fantasy species like the King of Feathered Snakes, cannot break the rules of the Starry Sky chessboard. The only way to fight here is to play chess and each using chess pieces that represent stars on the Endless Star map. It is because of this that Stardust Zone is so popular, as it has attracted so many newcomers to the Starry Sky chess after its official opening. The enchantment of Starry Sky chess is spreading at a speed surpassing thousands of times. One can safely comprehend the mysteries of the stars and communicate with fellow the legend rank players in Stardust Zone without any fear, playing chess, chatting, and simply enjoying oneself. This portion of the Endless God's domains is a haven. As Starry Sky chess gains popularity, Stardust Zone will undoubtedly become more vibrant. It is virtually impossible to find as many the legend rank players anywhere else. She won again. The wise men of Western God's domain were all defeated. This person's chess skills should not belong in Stardust Zone. I think we should conduct a star rating test right now. Her chances of passing it are 100%. Even the Dark Abyss God's domain will produce an extraordinary chess player. Sweet dream, she might become the top player of Starry Sky chess in the future. Looking at Sweet Dream from the dark abyss god's domain, mercilessly annihilating all the big shots who had been mingling in Stardust Zone, everyone had this feeling that they were witnessing something historic. Today, they would bear witness to history. I surrender. With the final defeat of the last expert in Stardust Zone, Sweet Dream successfully achieved the feat of ruling Stardust Zone, and the silence spread among the surrounding people. Are there no stronger opponents? Sweet Dream curiously looked around, as it was her first time at the Starry Sky chessboard and she was still unsure of the level of Stardust Zone. Go take the star position test, your chess skills surpass everyone here. Star Zone is where you ought to stay, my friend from the dark abyss god's domain. To read the uncut version, go to read novel full. I believe no one here can match your skills anymore. The Starry Sky chess players who fell under the attack of the Sweet Dream sword chief shook their heads, feeling hopeless at the disparity of their talents. As fellow players of the legend rank, they were initially stunned by Sweet Dream's strength, but now, they were even more impressed. Wait, there is still one person who might be able to fight back. Earlier, he also revealed the star summoning vision. Yes, we also have this newcomer. It was unclear who initiated it, perhaps one of the many elders of Heaven's Path Palace, but suddenly everyone's focus shifted to Little Cloud. Indeed, as a new player here, there is also a chess player who has produced the star summoning phenomenon. Equally visible talents. Perhaps he may not match up to his Sweet Dream from the dark abyss god's domain, but he undoubtedly possesses immense potential. Within a day, 2 such talented newcomers have arrived in the Stardust Zone. The endless gods' domains truly possess infinite possibilities. The world of Starry Sky chess will become more and more exciting with the emergence of these terrifying newcomers. The stage representing the highest wisdom of the endless gods' domains is so exciting and full of unknowns. You are strong. Sweet Dream approached Yunxi's face and looked at him with a bewildered expression. Originally just a spectator, Yunxi instantly became the focus of everyone. This is what they call being in a dilemma, with no escape route. Only in playing chess. Yunxi felt that he only had this one advantage in this Stardust Zone where legend-ranked experts gathered. Compared to the cultivation base, this person in front of him can probably kill him with just one finger. He felt immense pressure when the King of Feather Snakes looked at him. I have no quarrel with you. Yunxi felt the cold gaze of the feather snake and had an innocent look on his face. Very well, let's play chess. Sweet Dream smiled slightly, and the figure shrouded in clouds released a gentle aura. I find this game very intriguing. It's simple yet fun, perfect for unwinding. That's Starry Sky chess for us. Yunxi also thought so. It's such an easy game to understand and always brings him joy. Hiss. The feather snake wrapped around Sweet Dream's skin spread its 3 pairs of wings and released intense hostility towards Yunxi. If this weren't a non-combat trial on the Starry Sky chessboard, Yunxi felt he might have been eaten by this terrifying feather snake. Chapter 888. Her confidence bad news, failed. Due to various reasons, this novel can't be published on Amazon again. Good news, I will release 1 chapter/day till the last chapter of this novel on from now on. Maybe I will open a Patreon page in the future, but not now. Underscore 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 AMU. Quiet down. Sweet Dream touched the raging feather snake king on her body, wearing a perplexed expression. She, who grew up under the protection of the Feather Snake King since she was a child, the princess of Dark Abyss God's domain and the King Tower, had never seen her AMU display such a violent expression. It seemed as if she held an irreconcilable grudge against that little cloud on the other side, surpassing all hatred levels at their first meeting. Hiss! Hiss! With an unparalleled strength, the Feather Snake King, capable of silencing the crying of infants in the dominion of Dark Abyss God's domain and the King Tower, showed no signs of calming down. It was only a step away from flying out of Sweet Dream's side to bite Yunxi fiercely. AMU. Sweet Dream grabbed the slippery body of the Feather Snake King and forcefully stuffed it into her chest, leaving only a tail twirling around, looking quite amusing. Those who understood the terrifying power of the Feather Snake King were left dumbfounded at the sight. That was an ultimate thunderous creature capable of world annihilation, an embodiment of the rules connecting heaven and earth. Alright, let's begin. After sending her AMU into the mysterious field, Sweet Dream elegantly walked in front of Yunxi and sat on the left side of the chessboard. Whoosh! 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 The surrounding crowd instantly made way, ready to witness what could possibly be the highest level game representing the Stardust Zone. The entire Stardust Zone started buzzing because of these two newcomers. The high-ranking The Legend rank experts even began placing bets on this game. I bet on Sweet Dream to win, her talent is just too extraordinary. I bet on her too, with such talent, she's destined for the Star Zone. The constellations testing will be a piece of cake for her. I bet on the kid. Come on, who's afraid of who? Immortal in the Pot stood firmly on Yunxi's side, defending the honor of the Sky Tower. As the one who had played a serious match against Yunxi, he knew best what the summoned sun god bird represented. This was also talent, another kind of terrifying talent. These two newcomers represented completely different directions. It's hard to say who wins or loses. This place is an interesting one. All external sounds began to be isolated, and Sweet Dream's voice became indistinct. Yes, I really like this place. Yunxi had no sense of being a Starry Sky chess master. He was originally a novice at Starry Sky chess, unaware of what it was just a month ago. Thanks to the discerning eyes of teacher Cassina the battle god, she must have seen his talent in chess, which allowed him to achieve 100 consecutive victories on the Starry Sky chessboard. He completed the mission of Cassina the battle god and gained confidence. The battles against each of the legend-ranked chess players greatly broadened Yunxi's horizon and made him not feel the least bit complacent about his small achievements in the real world. Having witnessed the endless Starry Sky ocean, he, who hadn't even stepped out of the White Lotus Sword domain, had no qualification to be proud. I like to win. The feeling of winning brings me joy, I don't like to lose any match. Since I was little, as long as I played seriously, I've never lost. This time won't be an exception either. Sweet Dream earnestly told Yunxi about her strength. This is not bragging. The princess of the King Tower was born a victor, she defeated countless opponents before reaching the peak of the King Tower. In the trials of the Starry Sky chessboard, she was an unknown rookie, but in the exclusive trial of the King Tower, the King's Selection Battle, she was a myth admired by countless people. King's Selection Battle is a unique trial of the King Tower, where participants must demonstrate their strength, strategy, and courage, leading the army assigned by the King Tower to conquer countless cruel world memories. The victors will receive numerous accolades and rewards. The losers will have nothing, and they may even lose everything they have gained in the past. Sweet Dream is the undefeated legend of the King's Trial, and with the support of the Feather Snake King, she has even defeated nightmare legions far stronger than herself. The King of Kings. The Chosen One. That is Sweet Dream, the princess of the King Tower in the dark abyss god's domain, the legend who reigns over countless ancient myths. Today, she came to the world of the starry sky chessboard to challenge all the strong ones and continue her undefeated legend. She instinctively grasped the most advantageous aspect of the battle style of the starry sky chess. Just like in the King's Selection battle, her army was always the sharpest sword, tearing through the enemy's solid defense like thunder, bringing the dawn of victory. This time won't be an exception either. She is naturally favored by the goddess of victory. 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 Victory again. In the depths of her heart, there was always a voice guiding her, showing her the path to victory. Because of that, she firmly believed that she was different, chosen, and an ambassador of the will to win. Is that so? Yunxi looked at the confident Sweet Dream and began to contemplate. Her talent indeed made people take notice, and perhaps she would be on par with Cyber Elf Alpha when she grew up. However, for now, she was still just a fledgling. It would be immature to proudly spread her wings. It's about winning a little less, like guiding a newbie to understand that the rules of starry sky chess are not just about cutting, but also about guiding her like stroking a child's head. Or winning a bit more, allowing her to understand the cruelty of starry sky chess, and grasp the higher mysteries of the starry sky world. Do you look down on me? Sweet Dream keenly sensed the hint of pity in Yunxi's eyes. That inexplicable look made the princess, who had always been victorious, feel challenged. In this world, there was someone who could actually pity her. It was as if he saw the end of the game before it even began. Would she lose? Could such a thing happen when she had already mastered the killing strategies in starry sky chess that favored her? Let's guess first. Yunxi shook his head, indicating that Sweet Dream should start. You will regret it. I will soon make you understand the most terrifying aspect of starry sky chess. The seven-colored crown on Sweet Dream's head radiated a brilliant light, a blessing from the King Tower. Having been raised by the Feather Snake King since childhood, she had never tasted the bitterness of defeat and didn't feel the need to experience it. As long as she wins, she doesn't accept any other outcome. Whether it's a hero or a mythical creature, the princess of the King Tower will triumph and ascend to the highest throne. Today, the princess of the King Tower, the chosen child of destiny, will continue to slay ruthlessly. She will not fear any opponent, and she will not allow herself to lose. It's my turn first. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.